Welcome to the Clear Shots Podcast with Seth Skinner and Jake Jones.
Hey everybody, this is Seth from Clear Shots. Today you're listening to episode 90 with Cam Caruso.
Shit, these guys are good. Don't give them clear shots. Not bad, asshole. Engage! Engage!
Welcome to the Clear Shots Podcast, everybody. I mean, you give me the nickname this time.
Seth Classics Skinner.
Yeah, that's me. That's what it says in my hat. And then that's Jake Classics Jones.
There it is. And we got Cam Starry Eyes Caruso.
Starry eyes.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
Best compliment I've got all day.
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
like big saucer plates if you turn them into stars and then put them in your eye sockets and made them able to see. That's your eyes.
Yeah, that's
Right.
pretty accurate, yeah.
Every time I see them, that's all I can think of.
Aw.
It's like a shrink ray.
Saucers.
Put them in your face. All right.
So yeah, here we are. First time on the show.
First time. Thanks for having me.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You got a podcast coming, hopefully.
Yes, Cam Jam. The first episode is Monday, November 4th.
Oh shit, you even got the date planned out.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Who's is it just you?
No, I just have anyone that I can
Anybody?
get.
Like you
No,
mean
not anyone,
like,
but
what if Ed Kemper wanted to be on the show?
who
Yeah.
the fuck is that?
He's a serial killer.
I might consider
he
it.
He killed his mom and then fucked her throat hole.
Well, I mean, I think you gotta talk him. You gotta talk him down a little bit. Like his hype level's probably up.
He's really tall too.
I mean, there's a side to every story, so
Yeah.
it might be. No, it's mostly just good friends and family of mine. People I just like to shoot the shit with.
so Ed
essentially.
Kemper is what you said.
Yes. Yep.
That's more
Guest
or less.
one, Edmund C. Kemper.
C. Is that his middle name? Or
Yeah,
what's
classics.
his middle initial.
Edmund Classics Kemper.
That's usually the nickname they give to serial murderers, right?
I think he ate people too.
Oh, so he. Okay, still a murderer, right?
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
I mean, did he eat him alive? You know, because
Well, that's a question you can ask.
yeah,
That is a good question.
yeah. Write that down.
Yeah, right there.
Chop that one.
And
down,
was the
right?
throat fucking just for family exclusively, or
I think it was
Could
a
that be-
membership benefit, like
It
a
was like a-
Patreon bonus.
okay?
like one of the tiers, like
Yeah.
a throat fucking tier?
Yeah. $25 a month.
Yeah, that shit happens, dude. I don't know why we don't have a throat fucking tier.
What's the what's the lowest amount of money you can have on Patreon? Can you get donated like nickels and shit? Because that'd be funny just as like a
Good
concept.
question. I actually don't know.
But then like in the fine print, you tell them like, oh, we're taking a nickel every hour,
Right.
so you're spending $1.20 a day, but you don't know it.
I think it's probably $1. Like, I feel like you probably can't have a tier that's like point.
50 cents.
Yeah. Well, even less than that. Otherwise, I'd do it. That'd be fucking awesome. It'd be
Right.
hilarious.
I like the name Cam Jam, by the way.
Thank you.
I feel like it's pretty good.
Yeah, I did like a survey kind of a thing on my Snapchat, and people could vote on it anonymously, and I think it had 16 different names, brought it down to Cam Jam.
Nice.
Yeah.
What were the other 15 names?
Let's see. I think I have them here. Let me check.
Yeah, because we'll tell you which one it should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly it.
Sounds good. See if I can find
We're going to
it.
say how wrong everyone else
Yeah,
is.
Fuck. Let's see. I don't have it on here. Off the top of my head, I had Cam Jam, the Cammy Bear Chronicles, Cammy Bear Happy Hour.
That's not bad.
I like that one.
I like the happy, the happy
I
part.
like the Cammy Bear Happy.
Cammy
Hour.
Bear, yeah, that was a nickname I got a little while back. Something Turtle was in the name because a buddy of mine calls me Turtle.
Well, that one wins then.
Yeah, just call it Turtle.
Turtle?
Tune into Turtle, Monday, November 4th. I talked to Edmund Kemper about his favorite throat fucking techniques. Or throat hole fucking. Turtle is good.
Yeah,
Turtle, yeah.
It's short and it's to the point,
It was something a lot longer than that, but Turtle was in the name.
Yeah, I like turtle and then just a period.
That could be
Have
like
a period in
that
it.
could be like a fashion line. Like
Turtle?
You do like lowercase turtle with a period. Put on everything.
Yeah, why does it have to? The period does make it seem like it's a.
It's very
clothing line.
punctual.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you guys ever watch Entourage?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that why they call you Turtle?
No.
Oh, because there's a guy named Turtle in Entourage.
There is a guy
There's
named
also
Turtle.
4 turtles in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
Wasn't
shit.
that the show with the guy that did the subway thing and he got beat up by the black people and the Jesse?
No, you're thinking
Jussie
of
guy?
The Matrix.
I thought he was in Entourage.
Turtle?
No, the Jussie Smollett guy.
Jesse Smollett? No, he was in Empire.
Empire.
Oh, same show, right?
Nope.
No, entirely different shows.
I thought they were
entirely
exactly
different
the same.
networks.
Entirely different decades.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Entirely.
How long is the Empire
Racism
been
didn't
on?
exist when Entourage was a thing.
No,
Racism
it was more.
is a new thing.
No, it's
It was more chauvinist with Entourage.
Yeah.
Oh. How long
Yeah.
has Empire been on though? I feel like that's been on for a while.
While, yeah, but not longer than Entourage.
Yeah, Entourage was like pushing
04.
20. Oh yeah, okay, 15 years ago now.
I feel like every time I see a commercial for any of those shows, I'm like, that's the same show that I just saw. Like, what are we doing
Like
here?
for, what do you mean? For like HBO
Any show,
shows?
like any NBC show or like ABC or any of those fucking like, I don't know, just any general fucking broadcast network. I'm like, I'm not interested in
Holy
any of
shit!
this.
I was right. It was 04. What the? How could I get
Damn.
Entourage right,
Good
but
call.
not 300?
Because Entourage is way better than 300.
That's a good point.
It probably is, like realistically. 300 is a mess of a movie. It's like everybody who likes 300 like is like that movie's a mess, but it's awesome. Yeah, I would say it's a mess though,
I fucking love that movie.
It's entirely-
That movie is awesome. What are you talking
That's
about?
what I'm saying. It's awesome. It is awesome, but it's a mess. It's entirely
It's flawless.
it's not historically accurate. I'll tell you
Oh
that much.
wow! I didn't realize it said 300, a historically accurate film about. What were
That's
they?
what the original title
the
was.
Spartans, the Spartans invading the Neapolitans or the Persians.
The Neapolitans.
Because we were there.
Yeah.
That's how we know.
The Neapolitans,
The Neapolitans.
the Neapolitan Empire.
Yeah. There's strawberry. There's vanilla.
That's an empire I'd fuck with.
Yeah, right.
100%.
You'd be like, if you were in that movie, you'd be Xerxes, but instead of being covered in jewelry, you'd just be covered in like pineapple and walnut chunks, chocolate syrup.
Some cherries.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like the scene in fucking Heavyweights where they're all having a party with all the food and shit. And there's a giant like sub that's like a fucking half a mile long.
What does the kid say afterwards? Never put Twinkies on your pizza?
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that.
I missed that movie.
No, but you definitely got to check out Entourage at some point. It's loosely based off of Mark Wahlberg and his like becoming a celebrity and stuff. He, I think, exec produced it, and he has a couple of characters on the show based on people who he grew up with and were part of his entourage.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a really good show. And the best part, it's just like Curb Your Enthusiasm. One of my favorite parts about those shows is that like celebrity cameos play as themselves.
Yeah.
And Entourage is like that. Every season, there's kind of like a feud with another celebrity.
Yep.
Or whatever.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, I guess.
I like
You gotta
Entourage
mix
a lot.
those cameos in.
It's one of the first shows I remember seeing boobs on as a kid.
Yeah.
Channel 15.
Those boobs really stick with you, Like
Yeah.
I was talking to Christian like earlier about how everybody liked Game of Thrones, but like it started getting worse. People didn't like the later seasons because there was less titties in it. And he was like, basically it seems like it was like subliminal. Like they were pulling the titties out and people didn't really notice, but like that was why it got worse. People only liked the show because there was a lot of titties, you know?
I couldn't get on the show because there were titties on it and there's no complaint there, but it's the context of the titties.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're fucking their brother or something like that.
like-
that
What's wrong with that?
It's like, I don't know if you need to... they mixed in too many wieners and titties, you know? That was
I
part
don't
of
know,
the
you're
they mixed too many siblings. That was my problem.
Both wrong.
Yeah. Well, they're all fictional characters, so
Yep.
they're not really brothers and sisters.
No, it'd be fucking cool if it was.
Yeah.
I really like Game of Thrones. Yeah. So you couldn't get into it because of the context of the sex scenes?
Yeah, there's just too much incest.
Too many dicks, too many boobies. It's like if you want to see that stuff, that you can find it otherwhere else's. Otherwhere else's. You know? You don't have to watch Game of Thrones. Why do I have to watch a 45-minute episode of mostly not boobs to see some boobs, you know?
But you're not watching it to see tits.
But they are, though. Most people are watching it to see tits. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that's entirely it. I wouldn't say most people.
I would say it's
I would
primarily...
say a solid third of the people that
That's a
started
fair
watching.
amount.
I think a third of the people that started watching Game of Thrones watched it because of the sex scenes. Because that's what it was advertised as. It was advertised as the sexy show with dragons and shit. So you got like the nerdy people, and you got the people that just you have like the Catholics that are like, they just want an excuse to look at somebody's tits besides their pig wives.
Sure.
You know? Like they're like, honey, let's watch this show. It's got titties in it. Watch out. It's got breasts in it, but don't worry. You know? And then, you know,
They wouldn't tell their wives.
Those are the tits that
would.
stick with you.
They'd be like, oh, how did those get there?
Yeah. The censor must have missed those, dear.
It's on a delay. It's not working.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not interested. I feel like I can't commit to shows that are that long, you know?
But you watch.
I know, but that's the thing, though. It's weird because if it's 45 minutes long, I can't commit to it. But if it's a 20-minute show, I'm like, all right, well, I'll watch this.
Well,
and then
then
I'll watch another episode of it. Like, oh, I got time for another episode of it. Like, I watched fucking 4 episodes of it because they're 20 minutes long. But, like, maybe, you know, I feel like I can bail out of it a little bit easier, you know?
I have the perfect show for you. I Think You Should Leave on Netflix.
Oh, we watched that.
Have you?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's good. And they're like, what, 15 minutes? 17 minutes?
Yeah.
Short and sweet. You can watch all of it in like 2 hours.
I mean, there was a handful of Adult Swim shows that used to do it.
Yeah.
Short episodes. Aqua Teen was short
Aquatine's
episodes,
10-minute
right?
episodes.
It's like they would do it, and then they'd have like, because you're gonna have a commercial break after 10 minutes or whatever anyway, so they would just mix it in. SpongeBob even used to do it. I don't know if they still do. SpongeBob used to have 2 episodes per half hour.
2 different like segments or scenarios.
Yeah,
A lot of children's cartoons did that.
yeah, except for like the bad ones,
Like
Jimmy Neutron.
What I just watched, I hung out with Christy and Zach yesterday. We watched an Adult Swim show that I never really liked, but did you guys ever watch Brad Neely's Hard Knockin' Scorpio?
Does not ring a bell. Does not ring a bell.
No, it's a very. You ever watch China, Illinois?
No.
I tried.
Okay, it's made by that guy, so you won't like the show either. I thought it was just fucking absurd. It's this, you know those memes that are like poorly drawn, bad, like and they shorten the words up. Like the fucking Disney ones or whatever with Goofy or the Spider-Man one. Mm-hmm. It's literally the animation style is just like that, and the humor is just fucking outrageous. It's like if somebody turned those shitty memes into a fucking sketch comedy show. Mm-hmm. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Adult Swim has a lot of misses for me, but the hits.
Those are the hits. Yeah.
You watch a lot of Adult Swim?
I used to, not as much now, but
I don't have cable anymore, so I don't even. I mean, you can get all of it on their website, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like certain things are locked.
It's all free, basically.
Well.
I have Adult Swim on my TV. It's a whole fucking. It's its own thing on the TV, smart TV.
That's what you think.
there you go.
Fucking. It's pretty sick. I don't know. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like they actually lock certain things behind like a cable membership or whatever. Certain episodes, maybe like newest episodes or whatever.
Yeah, and then certain shows are locked out completely. Like C-Lab is locked out completely. Like
Yeah.
there's only like 3 episodes.
You know what pisses me off is that Hulu has the new South Park episodes like the day after, doesn't have the new Sunny episodes the day after. Like I don't understand why. It's like I would like to watch those. It's like my favorite show and stuff.
Does it have something to do with FX or FXX?
It's gotta
wherever
be.
it's on.
It has to just be the deal with whatever channel it is. But I know there's a bunch of FX shows on fucking Hulu. But I primarily just watch like South Park and Letterkenny on Hulu anyway.
I've heard nothing but great things about Letterkenny.
You've never seen it?
It's really good. It's like basically the whole show is built around like slang and like their language. That's like the entire thing.
Yeah, it's like a Canadian Always Sunny,
Okay.
I guess.
Sorta. It's almost like a blend though between like that and like a Trailer Park Boys and like a
Jimmy Neutron.
well,
Dude, some of the episodes of Letterkenny are really, really bad though. Like,
the only one I don't like is the Fart Book episode.
yeah,
That's
they
the
make
one I
a,
don't
they make
like.
a social media website where people can post audio of their farts.
Sign me up.
It's like
They
wanna
all
do
sign
that
up.
forever.
I mean, I think in real life execution, like the execution of that social media platform would probably work out, but it just didn't work out on the show, you know. Maybe we could try it, I guess.
You ever watch TikTok videos?
Here and there. Mostly stuff from your mom's house. Shit like that.
So, what podcasts do you listen to?
Have you watched Your Mom's House? With Tom Segura and his wife, Christina P. Watched that one. I watched Burtcast, Joe Rogan Experience, Church of What's Happening Now, You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes.
Ooh,
That's a really good
I
one.
didn't know Pete Holmes had one.
Yeah, it's good. And he gets on like 3 different topics. The first is comedy, and then I think relationships, and then God. So he covers all 3 of those in the podcast with each person.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
Because Pete Holmes is like very religious, isn't he? Or used to be very
He
religious?
used to be very religious, and then got out of it once he got into comedy and divorced his wife and shit. And
That's how it happens.
yeah. He's still very spiritual and stuff, and like he talks a lot about like Buddhism and stuff like that, but he's not like a hardcore Christian like he used to be.
Yeah. It seems like the people like Buddhism is weird though. Like Buddhism is like that one that people like to join just because they don't want to be like a hardcore Christian or anything else, you know? Like the Buddhism is kind of like lenient in a lot of ways.
Isn't Buddhism basically just like don't?
It's more about yourself than like
It's like don't want things.
It's about
It's like don't covet anything.
essentially it's being detached from everything in the world. That way, once that thing disappoints you in some way, you won't be hurt by it.
right.
And
I feel like it also like alleviates the stress of death.
yeah.
Because you're not attached to things in the material world, you know?
Have you read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck?
Who wrote that one?
I've heard of that.
It's like a very modern day, like modern language Buddhist book, I think. And if like something upsets you, fuck it, like get over it. Kind of a mentality. That is essentially Buddhism in a very harsh way.
Well, we need a lot more Buddhists, right? Because I feel like everybody's real soft now.
They don't fucking shoot up schools or blow up buildings.
Yeah.
They don't go in those places
Well,
because
they
they're
also-
detached from reality.
Yeah.
They're
They basically say
on
fuck
a
it.
different plane.
Yeah. They don't get all upset when people say the wrong pronoun, you know?
Ooh. Oh man, yeah, those 2 things wouldn't mix. What are your pronouns?
He, his, him.
Okay,
that it?
we should have asked before we started.
Yeah, I guess. We didn't. Yeah, that's my bad.
No, it's all good. No, I know people that prefer other pronouns, and whatever makes them happy, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I'm fine with that. I just don't want him to fucking be getting upset with when you are wrong, and you don't, because you don't know any better.
I feel like 90% of the time they'll just be like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah, they can just correct you.
Or someone will correct you, like someone else will correct you.
Yeah. And then maybe if you keep doing it, then we got a little bit of an issue.
Yeah.
But
Like
Right.
if you Ben Shapiro that, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, you ever see that interview he did on CNN?
Not on CNN, no.
He did an interview where, like, they were talking about, this was like 3 or 4 years ago. They were talking about transgender issues, and they, of course, they had to have Ben Shapiro on for
it's the only movie
for
you have
whatever
to.
reason. Like the most conservative Jewish man in California, which is saying a lot because that's where they all are.
Yeah, he's Jewish as fuck. I've never seen him without the yarmulke, dude.
No, you don't. But there was a transgender person on the show, male to female, and he kept calling her by her former name, and calling him him. And then it was, she gets pissed and she grabs him by like the back of the back of his the yarmulke. She grabs him by like the back of the shoulder and she leans in. You can hear on the microphone. She goes, "If you don't start showing me respect, I'm gonna put you in an ambulance." And Ben Shapiro just goes, "Well, that wouldn't be very ladylike."
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it goes crazy from there.
That's fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
so as long as you don't do what he did, you're good.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of his thing, like a lot of the reasons why he has his opinions is through like science and shit like that. And sorry, this is killing me.
You're fine.
And so, and that was like a lot of his arguments for a lot of those situations. And I've seen it on other interviews, and that's why I haven't seen the CNN one, but there's one that's circulating the internet where he's at a university or something like that. And this one girl's debating to him and so he was like, well, like science doesn't care about your opinions.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yes, facts don't care about your feelings. But from what I've read online, and I don't know if this is true, but like science is starting to change like how they view stuff like being transgender and stuff.
Yeah.
His argument was essentially that it was a mental illness. But now they're starting to say like, no, it's no longer a mental illness. And there's other things that have been like changed throughout history, like
homosexuality was a mental illness.
Exactly.
Like 100 years ago.
Yes, exactly. So it's one of those things that is changing and that is evolving.
Women getting horned up used to be a medical condition too.
Hysteria, right?
Yep.
Exactly. Shit like that.
Yeah, I think the general idea of it being out in the news outlets and shit and being like just more like there's just more exposure to it. I think that's going to drive science to, you know, look at those issues.
Well, especially people that like, I don't know. It's got to do with a lot of things.
It just scares me when they fucking go, "Hey, I'm a guy now or I'm a girl now or whatever," and then they go and fucking compete with girls and start beating their asses. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I feel like that's a little weird. How about, you know, level the playing field a little bit? Like, we know that inherently men have a just more athletic build for certain things. Like, we're just more equipped for that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, if it's like you're never gonna have a female Brock Lesnar. Like, I've never seen one, so I mean, you could try, but it ain't gonna be Brock Lesnar.
Or not in this time. Maybe if evolution kicks in later down the road,
it would have to.
We might.
It would have to be not only evolution, but we might have to have some scientific help there.
Yeah, we might have to go to space.
Yeah.
But
there's something on Mars, dude. We haven't figured it out yet.
Back to the whole sports thing. That's a big thing that Joe Rogan talks about a lot on his podcast, and the best solution, which I think he brought up, which I agree with, is have like a transgender division.
Yeah.
One for transgender women, one for transgender guys, to kind of even that playing field, as you said.
I want to see like
I disagree.
what kind of ratings it would have, you know?
I think if you identify as a woman, you should be able to compete with the biological women. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that you guys think just because a woman has the XY chromosome
You get off your high horse, you
that she
son
can't
of a-
compete.
Stay woke, Jake. Stay woke.
Thank you. Hopefully nobody in MAGA hats with a noose.
Hopefully nobody believes what he was just saying.
I was waiting for it. I was like, well, why do you disagree? And then I saw your shit-eating grin. I was like, never mind. I'm not going to fight this.
But no, I just think, that's what everybody's wanted. That's what they've all wanted.
So we're working towards.
They're like, men can be women and women can be men. That's fine.
Yeah.
And now they're like, well, no, women are women because the women are beating the. Excuse, did you just say men, women? You mean the women? They're women now. They're in your division. Fuck you. Try harder if you don't want to lose. That's cut and dry.
I guess. Right?
Or I also gonna think of like a. Somebody's mentioned like the testosterone test or something, or an estrogen test. Mm-hmm. Like if they can tell you're on hormones, or you have to probably disclose.
Yeah, but it's not a matter of if you're still on this shit though. Like you've had testosterone for your entire life until you decided to fucking become a female.
And also, you can't just do estrogen for a little while and then stop. That's something you're gonna constantly need to do
that's
your
cool.
entire life.
No, I'm not gonna finish my point. You guys can just cut me off.
Well, I'm just saying,
It's fine. Whatever. Didn't get to finish my fucking sentence. Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
I'm just saying. I'm
bigots.
trying to.
Fucking stupid. Fucking.
I'm just telling you.
It's fucking bullshit.
I'm just spewing facts here.
Well, facts don't care about your feelings, dude. So buckle up.
That's actually
Buckle up.
You just helped our point. Facts don't care.
Oh no, the charade is up.
The charade.
No, but I think that shit's so funny. Like I just remember seeing all that, like during the just through the past few years, the transgender movement, and now like everybody was like, yes, let her compete. Wait a minute, not everybody compete. Like,
Hold on. We've gone a little too far this time.
Yeah, like no, not all of you. Like not all of you compete. We're losing. You guys gotta stop. One at a time. Everybody take a number.
Yeah.
But that's why that whole like division would work, and hopefully that would encourage other transgender athletes to want to compete. So they do have a platform that they can.
I think it'd be funny.
Well, we should do a non-binary category.
You'd be seeing so many.
Who you got money on? Who do you got money on in the non-binary flyweight championship? Mighty Mouse or Aspen Ladd?
Are they both non-binary?
Now they are.
Yeah, in order to qualify, they'd have to do it. Well, they could just say that they're non-binary and then be in that division.
Yeah, then you get a free belt.
That's part of the problem is that there's no like requirement for being non-binary. You can just wake up one day. And
No,
be like,
what they'll do is they'll check your Instagram bio.
Oh,
If your Instagram
if your
bio
Instagram says you're non-binary,
it's like proudly non-binary.
is there a
Like, all right,
non-binary?
you're
Is there a
in.
non-binary flag or is there?
I think there is.
Yeah.
Really? There's got to be a flag for all that.
It's all ones and zeros.
Don't.
With a big
No,
X.
that's
with a big
bi-
with a big
I
X.
was gonna say. Yeah, I
I
was
see
gonna
what
say
you did
that.
there.
Yeah. So does that mean straight people's flag is that without the X?
No, straight people's flag is the American flag.
I was literally just about to say that.
Fuckers.
Oh my god,
Oh, it took the words right out of my mouth.
that's hilarious. Oh shit. Well, I guess we can wrap it up. We've covered it all.
It was nice knowing you guys. No,
No, you're never performing in this town again.
never.
Yeah.
No, we're all kidding here. But all seriousness, like let them have that division.
Oh yeah, no, for real. I just like making fun of things.
I think it'd be fun to watch. I think it'd be funny though. It'd be loaded with male to female.
yeah,
it'd be
there's
stacked,
not
at
a
least.
lot of female to male transgender people. There's like significantly less.
But this is the thing: is like you'd have to have a division for each fucking like
Weight class.
sport too, right?
Oh yeah, that too. No, put them all in the same weight class. Weight is a social construct.
Yeah.
But it also depends on the sport.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it's tennis, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know, MMA, a little different scenario, a little different story.
Yeah, if it's combat sports, it's a fucking situation here.
Right.
Do you watch a lot of UFC?
Not as much as I used to. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. I was big into it, like, I don't know, maybe about 10-ish years ago, back with, like, Anderson
shit.
Silva, Brock Lesnar, Frank Mir, those guys
UFC
back in the
100.
day.
You're on UFC 100.
Yeah, probably. Just when the UFC games were coming out.
Yeah.
Between that, yeah. So,
Oh my god, that makes me so sad.
I know.
09, basically.
Fucking dude, Undisputed 3 is the greatest fucking fighting game ever made. I don't care what anybody says. Fight Night Champion's close, but UFC Undisputed 3 is the fucking greatest fighting game ever.
I like watching clips and stuff, or if it's just on TV. I don't like make the effort to watch it.
Gotcha.
Anymore, you know what I mean?
You know what I
Well,
love
it's
about
because
it?
there's a lot of them on now.
Yeah,
Like, there's
they're
a
on
lot.
every weekend. That's actually the second thing I love about it is they're on every weekend now. But like, I don't go out as much in the winter. I stay home usually because like I hope hypothermia and alcoholism don't mix well, so I don't want to be out and about at night.
I heard
Fair
it
enough.
gets cold in the
It gets
winter.
really cold in the winter, but so it's nice like, if I'm home on like a Saturday and I don't have plans, like I can just do shit around the apartment and then like have the fight on in the background.
And
that's
that-
what I like to do.
That might be my other problem is because I work on weekends, like primarily. So all these like fight nights and all these games and stuff, like I'm gonna be watching them as I'm performing. You know,
Gotcha.
So that's part of it.
Yeah.
But not I have nothing against UFC, and I probably prefer that over a lot of the other sports that are out right now. But just don't.
You watch any sports at all?
Not really. Not recently.
No?
Yeah, no. It's mostly just music, podcasts, Netflix, shit like that.
Word.
Yeah. I was talking to him before you even showed up, and we were talking about
'Cause you
how
got kidnapped.
basically-
I didn't get kidnapped.
How basically there's so many podcasts that I listen to that like it kills like so much of my fucking time, and like it also takes away from music time also to me. So like I find myself playing less guitar now, and I'm at the point where I'm like I'm just gonna cut down on podcasts. Like I have to listen less. I like listening to Rogan because I learn a lot from his podcast because of how, like the range of people. He just had fucking Snowden on his.
I
fucking
watched
podcast.
that.
I didn't finish it. Actually, I didn't start it yet. So I technically didn't finish it either.
Yeah,
But
it's crazy.
one
though.
good?
But
It is good.
I saw you to do it from like a webcam.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's wild.
Did you see the biopic of Snowden that came out with Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
No, I want to actually though.
What's
Okay.
it called?
Snowden.
Yeah.
Pretty original. And it's roughly like the same information that he was discussing on the podcast. So a lot of it, like for me personally, like wasn't a huge shock. It's still like fucking nuts.
It's still wild. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a lot of stuff that they covered in the movie.
Yeah. I've never seen it. I remember seeing the ads for the movie, but I never saw it. I would like to see it though.
It was good. I dug it, and it did get into a lot of that stuff. He went into greater detail in the podcast, obviously, because like that was like what 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours of him mostly just talking about it, and Rogan like occasionally chiming in and like throwing in another question.
Right.
Where Snowden, it shows his entire life essentially from when he started in the military. He was trying to be in the army and like broke I think both of his legs in training, and so he had to like stop doing that and then started working for the NSA or CIA.
Broke his legs in training, and as he's on the stretcher, he's just like, you know what? Fuck America.
And then he became the Terminator.
And then, I remember when all that shit went down. That was 2012, right?
Around there, yeah.
Because I remember it was Coney and Snowden,
Oh, that's right.
King of the Ring.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
That's a show they need to bring back.
Yeah. It's,
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah.
Was that the claymation one?
Yes.
I feel like we talk about it a lot, and I've never seen it.
Oh, it was.
I don't
You've never
remember.
seen it?
I don't remember watching it.
It's a work of art.
I feel like
I probably have seen it. I never watched it though.
I don't know though. Maybe like it was starting to die when I was like
A kid.
I was just starting to get into Adult Swim, and that was towards the end of its lifespan anyway. So
But it was on MTV, right?
Yeah.
or yeah, on MTV.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, it was kind of dying out when I started watching it anyway.
MTV was blocked at my house.
Yes, that's weird.
Yeah.
I think I got into MTV before I started watching like Adult Swim. Pretty sure, which was weird. I remember watching like Spring Break on MTV. I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking wild, dude. There's chicks like changing their fucking tops and shit. There was like a contest where they had to like change their bikinis within a certain amount of time. and like some of them didn't make it.
The early 2000s were so weird.
Yeah, and I mean everything happened on beaches, dude. I feel like beaches were the only thing in the 2000s, you know?
Total Drama Island.
Yeah, everything was beaches, man.
Yeah.
Jimmy Neutron.
In and out beach, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta burn the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch MTV. There was a show that I was watching and I got in trouble for, and it was Parental Control.
Okay.
I was like 8 or 9 or something when I was watching it, and then my dad was like, "You're not watching."
Is that the one where they had dates? Were they on dates?
They had to do
parents...
they had to have a blind date, and they had to introduce their blind date to their parents or something.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think like
or like
the parents had some sort of obviously parental control. Would they choose for you?
Oh,
yeah.
You know what it was? I think there was like 3 blind dates, and like the parents would choose one, and then they would choose one, and then like someone else would choose the other.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Some shit like that.
I just remember there was an episode where they had to play. They played strip mini golf.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Obviously, the father chose this person.
I was watching it at my dad's office, like at the house. So his desk is all the way in the corner. I'm watching on the TV, and he heard the words. He was in the room too. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was going to be bad. It was on MTV.
Yeah.
It was music.
Yeah, nothing could happen on MTV.
Yeah, exactly. And he heard strip mini golf, and he fucking got up. He's like, "What the hell are you watching?" And he hit info twice. So like the whole guide would come up on fucking Time Warner.
Yeah.
And it was said like adult themes or sexual themes in the info thing, and I'm like,
it said parental control, and then it said eliminate or like next or whatever the fucking
Next. Yes, that was a great show. Did you ever watch that one?
They were all the same show though. Like it's funny because they were all the same show with just like a different condition. They were all just blind date shows or whatever.
So this one, these group of either guys or girls would be on a bus, and they would go on a date with this individual. Yeah. And like, let's say it'd be like dinner, mini golf, and go-karts. So they'd go to dinner, and they'd be like, "Oh, so like, what do you do for a living?" And they'd be like, "Oh, I'm a musician." Next.
They could just say next at any point of.
And so that guy would fuck off, and then the next guy would come in, and then they'd be mini golfing, and they'd be like, "Oh, do you smoke cigarettes?" "Yeah, I smoke about a pack a day." Next. Like, or it could be something like physical. Like, I remember one time, there's one episode. This one episode.
I almost said something really bad.
Please, for the love of God, say it.
I feel like I know what he's going to say.
Now I want to know.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, it was funny because like there was always one, the one bitch that like would just say next to everybody, and you knew she was
This
going
guy
to, 'cause
barely
she was just
made
an
it
asshole.
off the bus, and she was like, "Next." That's where I was going with that. I don't know where the fuck you're going with that. Yeah. It's probably something about his cock. Is that where you're going with it? I can't see your cock through your jeans. Next.
Yeah.
No, it's like this is if Next came out like 2020.
Oh,
They're
Jesus.
like sitting down at the table, and the person that says Next is like it's like a girl. She goes, what's your gender pronoun? And the guy on the date with her is like, Next. And he fucking just leaves.
Wow, that came full circle.
Yeah. Yeah. Just imagining like they sit down and the guy's just like, "Oh, well, my name is Jake, but my preferred gender pronoun is Next." Like, no.
Yeah.
She's just like, it's just a very,
Yeah, it's funny. That
it's
never.
just a very transphobic show.
It's funny that never happened back then, you know?
Like, I mean, you said physical, and I was like, oh my God, what can I do? Fat people, colored people. I can't say colored. Colored people.
They would never put fat people on that show or any of those shows on MTV. No. You fucking kidding
me? They'd have to
me?
use so much makeup, dude. Think about all the makeup process. They'd have to CGI you in, you know?
I'm off talking. I like that I laughed way harder than what like the joke was, but I was like, as I was thinking of it, I was like picturing it in my head, and I was like, I wish I could project this somewhere.
Yeah. Well, you didn't, and it just bounced around in your head a million times, starting a laughing fit. There was I used to like watching Headbangers Ball on MTV though. I used to sit down. I think it was like Friday or Saturday nights or something like that, and they would just play metal music videos. Back when they actually played music videos on MTV.
I liked it was like VH1 or something. It was either MTV or VH1 because I remember watching this. The only time the parental control. The only time the V chip was ever like where we could watch MTV was when my cousin Cassie stayed with us for like 2 weeks, and that's all she watched. She was like 17, so they were gonna let her choose what she wanted to watch. So MTV was unblocked in the house, or VH1. But they had the one show, it was like an hour or two long, and they would show like clips of music. It was right in the beginning of the day, like in the morning. They would show clips of music videos, and then you would call to vote on them.
That's something, a TRL?
Yeah, and then like whichever music videos or bands won were like bands they showed videos of for the day.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I remember like getting up every day before school, turning on MTV, hoping that they'd play Sum 41 videos. I was like, I hope they play Fat Lip, dude. I love that music video. Nowadays, I can just be like, Fat Lip, YouTube,
right?
Dude, that I never thought of that. Music videos were impossible to watch without MTV and VH1.
And then what came along was the on-demand shit on my cable box.
Yep,
shit, the music choice on demand.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you could there were certain music videos you could pick and choose,
and watch the full music video, not just the little fucking clips that they show on MTV or
and
VH1.
Some of
the
some of the channels had the censored and the uncensored. I remember because you could get Lamb of God uncensored.
Yeah.
Where Redneck, where they don't bleep out motherfucking.
Yeah. Well, you gotta
bleep it because it's for kids.
I always like the censored version better.
Yeah, but Eminem had his own channel or some shit. Or I'm thinking of Sirius Radio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing. We're going right down the timeline here, you know?
It's very strange. I was talking to a coworker of mine. He used to be friends with my dad back in the day. So in the early 50s, 53 or 52. And we were talking about all the different things. Like, we were debating iTunes and Spotify is how it started. And then we started talking about 8-track players and all the other shit and how, like, amazing it was to go from vinyl to, like, cassette or 8-track and then CD and then iPods, and now you're just streaming it from your phone.
Yeah.
And he's like, that would fucking blow everybody's mind back in the day. I think that's one of the things that we take advantage of the most. Literally, you can listen to music. You can listen to any music you want to, anytime, anywhere, if you have your phone on you.
Take advantage and take for granted.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Because like those guys back in the day, like that was a fucking adventure. They would go to the record store, hang out there. That was the shit. It wasn't like what did we have? We had FYE in the fucking mall.
Hit clips, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, FYE was like the spot too.
That was like
ever went there?
the closest thing.
You could sample CDs there, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could sample CDs. They had like a little porn section in the back.
Really?
They were covering all the DVDs. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, like I used to carry an iPod and a cell phone. There was like a point in time where you had both. Mm-hmm. So like I had my phone on my left, and it was always iPod on my right because that was the configuration.
Yep.
Yeah, that was mine too. My phone still stays in my left pocket.
Yeah,
Same here.
Yeah. That's the spot. I mean, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first fucking MP3 player I got. I'll fucking pull it up.
I think. Well, first I had a fucking CD player with it had anti-skip too. So when I was listening to it on the bus, it didn't skip.
Oh shit.
That was the good shit. And then I would just keep playing track 7 over and over. Because every time I had an any CD, I was like, I only like 3 songs off this album or whatever. So put it on repeat.
I remember the fucking. I was just talking to somebody else about this too. Oh, it was the same guy because we were talking about iPods. And I was talking about how the first fucking MP3 player I got was a fucking fake iPod down in Florida at those fucking flea markets. This lady was selling. It said MP3, MP4 players.
It wasn't even
sign,
a
Zune.
but no, it wasn't even a. I was like, when did the album By the Way come out? 03. So it was like 03, 08. I was like fucking little.
It was a couple semesters ago.
Actually. It was our second time going to Disney. So I was like 12, and they had MP3, MP4 players on the sign, and then it was pictures of iPods and shit like that.
Yeah, but it held like 20 songs. So
It was actually not that bad. It was 4 gigabytes.
okay.
Which was that's pretty reasonable back then.
Yeah,
Like that's
fuck
very
yeah.
It's
reasonable.
huge back then.
And but it was like $250, and I begged my dad to buy it for me, thinking it was an iPod, and it was in a case just like an iPod, but it didn't say iPod on it. And we didn't realize it was fake until we got all the way back to the hotel. And like I turned on and I tried spinning the thing, and it didn't spin. And then you click it, and it's buttons. The fucking screen is like 144p.
But it looks like one. That's all that
like an
matters.
iPod.
It's like nobody knows.
Yeah, but no, that's what I was gonna pull up. Was the very first MP3 player I ever got was my dad bought them out of the back of a magazine.
The fucking iPod like touch wheel was kind of cool though.
Dude, it's still great. My
kinda
dad
like
still
that.
uses an iPod Classic. Those are the best ones. Mm-hmm. The sound quality in those is unreal.
You could get like that's the thing is you could like, I mean you could always just get like FLAC files or something, but it's gonna take up a lot of space. But like, you definitely get better. You get better quality than you would from streaming from a fucking Spotify device of some sort.
Mm-hmm. Well, like even the difference between WAV and MP3, MP3 is like 1/5 of the information that a WAV file is.
Yeah,
That's bananas.
it's like a FLAC file too.
Well, it's definitely like MP3 is like simplified, but I mean it's smaller. It's compressed, right?
It's a lot more compressed than a WAV file.
Yeah,
Like
so
the
it's-
ceiling for it has to be like -1 dB, where the ceiling for a WAV file would be like 0.1 dB, kind of a
Right.
thing.
So it's definitely that's the idea though, is they wanted it smaller so they could put it on these devices, and it's easier to share and shit like that.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about MP3. It's a lot easier to transfer, and you can just do it like via email.
Yeah.
Where you need a fucking Dropbox for a WAV file.
Right. Yeah. Which I mean, we have a Dropbox, so
Yeah.
a lot of people. What's funny is they basically give you the Google
Drive.
Is it OneDrive or something like that?
Google Drive.
Something like that. They just give it to you for free. They give you a decent amount of space, I think.
Yeah,
for
it's
free.
just Google Drive.
Google Drive, I think they give you 100 gigabytes,
yeah, it's
which is solid.
Yeah.
Or no.
But it's
I
like you
lied.
can just pull shit out of there when you don't want to use it. It's like if I'm sending you shit, I can just Google Drive it, and I mean I can get pretty big files sent over the internet just through email.
Yeah. I think it might be like 25 gigabytes. 100, you have to like pay a subscription. It's like $1 a month.
Yeah,
or
it's
$2 a
something
month.
ridiculous.
Yeah. It's not, it could be worse. I mean,
That's actually nothing.
No,
I
yeah.
actually wouldn't mind having a cloud save just to save all of the raw podcast files instead of having them on my hard drive.
I'm going to start doing that.
It's probably a smart move.
Yeah. Well, it's
should
like,
think
it's
about
already starting. I don't know how like much information Audacity like takes up.
Nah, not a lot. See, the thing is, like, what I do is after I put out the podcast, the only thing I save are the raw MP3 and MP4 of the episode. I'll delete like all the project files and shit like that.
Okay.
Because there's no reason to have it. I'm not gonna go back and fucking edit like an old fucking episode anyway.
Fair enough. Yeah. Because like I've done podcasts where they'll be like 5 hours long, and I only use like 3.5 or 4 hours worth of it, and I use Pro Tools, and it's like 7 gigabytes or some shit.
Yeah, see, that's a nightmare to me, is recording 5 hours and going through and be like, I gotta keep this, get rid of this, I gotta keep this, get rid of this. Like, I don't want to do that. It's tedious.
Yeah. That's like, I'm a very analytical person when it comes to that stuff, so I feel like I have to. And for like example, I say the word like a lot. So I will cut that out and just continue where I left off. Or
Well, now it's all everybody's gonna be thinking about the whole time.
Yeah, it's like when
Yeah.
you listen to Muse and you realize he breathes every line.
yeah. Shattered sight. You're welcome. And so like no. Another example would be I prefer not to have like second of dead air. You know what I mean?
Like you want to trim the silence.
Yes.
Yeah. See, that was one thing, like, we I always wanted that. Like, I consciously always thought about that as soon as I started. I was like, if there's dead air, I'm just gonna start talking, and I don't care what it is. If it's fucking stupid, it's stupid. But I'd rather not have dead air because I'm not gonna edit this thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, but the thing is, like, as we got better at it, it's sort of just kind of disappeared in the first place. You sort of just naturally get rid of it.
Right.
Instead of dead air, it's comedic pauses.
Right. Yeah.
To build up the anticipation.
Okay, I like that.
Or just like where we just have nothing to say.
And honestly, a lot of podcast players have a trim silence function too.
Yeah. They don't have a trim like function though, so you're kind of fucked.
Maybe I should
not
invent
yet.
one.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
No, you can't invent it. You're not in our D&D campaign.
That'd be so hard.
I am the inventor. I am the one who invents.
Dude, you would have to have an
one who-
algorithm that finds the word like.
The word like,
But then it has to pull it out
can't-
of like.
It can't make grammatical sense.
Yeah.
It's like using like as like a
such a difficult algorithm.
like
That'd be tough. And you'd have to have each person say like about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So the algorithm knows or is familiar when they are saying the
to
word
get like a
like.
profile for it. Yeah.
but it also has to get like the cadence, you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
if I keep saying like this,
Right.
which like do you take out?
That's a good point.
You know?
Right.
Because if
we're
you
talking
take out
about
all
the
those
word like-
likes, then I'm just not saying anything.
Yeah.
Right.
If we're talking about the word like, they're not going to know what word we're talking about because that word's going to be removed.
Right.
You
But
know?
it's also like if like I don't know, it's like if that like you would cut out all the likes in that section of likes because I said like that many times and the
Right.
machine would be like, oh shit, like.
Yeah.
But then when I would say something like I like cheddar cheese popcorn,
Yeah.
it wouldn't
makes
cut it and be
sense.
like I cheddar cheese popcorn.
Yeah.
But it would be way funnier if it did that.
That would be way fun.
Hence,
That's
maybe
hardcore- that's
we
hardcore
should
like
do this. Maybe we should.
I think
invent
it's a good
that.
move.
Yeah,
Cuts down on editing.
it does.
But that to me is, I mean, look, there's podcasts that do a hell of a lot of editing. Like, have you ever listened to Radiolab?
No.
Tons and tons of fucking editing, and it's all really like
Tastefully
it's well done, and it's fucking constantly like hitting you with facts and info, and like there's no lulls, and it keeps your attention the whole time. And I guess it's just that's the thing is like there's flexibility with podcasting. You can be like
Yeah.
you can do that and go fucking super hard, try and be super professional like a fucking polished show, or you
That's-
can just be raw.
That's one of the things I like about Sleepycast is that what they actually do is they'll do like 3 to 4 hours at a time and shorten it to like an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then any other longer bits they like, they have them as lost
Okay.
episodes.
Okay.
So like, if they,
See, if
they
I had
do a
nothing-
hype, they do it.
If we had nothing else to do, we
Yeah.
would just do podcasts for 4 hours every day,
Yeah, like if we lived together,
Right.
which that would be a nightmare. to
that'd be
do.
fucking awful.
And my other problem is that I'll get on a tangent with someone and like we'll start naming names and start talking shit. And like, yeah, I don't want that on there. I know you guys do prefer to have it raw. So like in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, don't talk shit, don't name names, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you can
Sometimes,
do
I mean,
I mean,
sometimes-
yeah,
if you
but
do, it's
I
like-
prefer
It's
not
really
to.
well. You won't have an excuse because you're drinking Gatorade. If you were drinking straight Evan Williams honey out of a coffee fucking mug, then you would
Well,
you would
it's
have an
like,
excuse.
I mean, if it's really significant or I feel like it is, I'll censor it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll put a little beep in there because that's cool. It's cool production.
It
Sounds
is
cool.
good. It is good.
Yeah.
I always thought it was funnier in like TV shows when like you'd hear it go, and then then it would beep because like you knew what they were saying anyway.
Yeah.
But like it just felt funny.
And you get like the F and then the K.
Yeah,
of fuck. So it's like,
You'd
why
get the tail
bother?
end. Yeah.
Well, I like that Metalocalypse censors the swear
With like
words
pinch
with
harmonics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fucking yeah. And then there isn't an uncensored. You have to buy the Blu-rays to get the uncensored versions.
You don't need the uncensored. You want it to have the.
I was
pinches
gonna
and
say like it sounds better with the fucking yeah.
shit. Like the wicked heavy like E string pinches. It's fucking hilarious. That was a great show. I liked the first couple seasons of that. I never watched like anything past like season 3. I think they did like 4 seasons maybe.
No, they did the opera after season 3.
Did they?
Yeah, and then I think that was it.
Yeah, maybe I watched the first 2 because I remember stopping. Like I listened to the first Death album, I really liked it, and even the second album was really good. But Brendan Small's a good musician, so
Yeah. You ever watch Metalocalypse?
No, never.
he
heard
does
of
all the instruments and shit for all of it.
It's a really good show.
Yeah, he does like the voices or some of the voices.
The whole series is free on Adult Swim. So I just binge watched it like a couple
It's
weeks
about
ago.
a metal band that's like basically the greatest band in the world, and like everybody fucking like worships them and shit.
Yeah, they have as a metal band, they have the 7th largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
Like each band member is just worth hundreds of billions of dollars.
They like live on a helicopter. And
Like a giant floating death castle.
yeah,
Like a giant floating fortress.
yeah.
And just people
They
die
kill,
at all
like,
their shows.
millions of people
They kill
in every
people at
concert.
show. Like
Jesus, what?
They start like the second Great Depression because they delay an album by 2 months. The Great Depression happens again. The concept of the show is actually so genius. Though.
Yeah, it is.
It's just I don't know what it would. I don't know. I think it's part of it. A lot of it makes fun of the.
The voices were great too. I feel like
Yeah.
it was done really well.
It's really good. A lot of it just makes fun of music in general, but
Yeah.
also makes fun of like production. A lot of blame on production companies.
Yeah, and like being like having managers and shit like
yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
like the thing that I think is the funniest is I was never in a band, but I was always around for any project that Wes was doing.
You were basically in bands.
I was
'cause you
basically
were,
in
like
all
at
your
every
bands
practice
because I
and
was
shit.
there. And
Christian was saying that the other day. He was like, "Oh man, when I was a kid, I was basically at every single practice." And then,
Yeah.
and he was like, "I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I got to listen to a band and then get high for like 8 hours
yeah, dude, that was the shit. You got to listen to a band
every
play.
week."
All you had to do is sit there for 2 hours while they practice, and then you got fucked up for free, dude. But it's funny, like a lot of the bands I've seen, which is like all my friends' bands.
Mm-hmm.
It's the stupidest, smallest things that cause like a big argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And that's
oh, dude,
what-
the
that's what
pizza
they
was
do in-
$17.50. You only gave me $6.
Yeah, it's like that's what they do with Metalocalypse. Is a lot of the fucking crises they go through,
Yeah.
are fucking little squabbles.
Have you seen the movie Spinal Tap?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
That's what that sounds very similar to. Is like the
sure it
bullshit
was.
behind the industry.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it was influenced a little too.
I'm sure, definitely.
He's taken influences from everything, though. He was. I mean, I just think he's a good metal musician. Brendan Small is.
yeah. I agree.
He would, and he toured too. He toured. So what was cool was like he recorded an entire album and put it out as Death Clock, which is the band in the show. Mm-hmm. So like it was almost like a merged world sort of thing.
Like the Gorillas.
And he would go tour the country with the fucking and play the album.
Okay.
And he'd have like he'd hire people to play the other parts and shit.
Nice.
So it was really cool. Like he'd basically have a band and a fucking TV show going at the same time in that world, that universe.
Also sounds like Tenacious D.
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
Did
for
you
sure.
you see that they're touring with like Weezer? I think Blink 182.
Oh yeah,
like
I
maybe
forgot.
one other band. It's like a big mega tour.
I forgot
or some
Blink 182. They put out an album like recently. Pretty sure
I didn't even know they were all still alive.
they don't have the dude that's doing To the Stars there, Tom DeLonge. The lead singer is not in the band anymore, so it's only the other guy.
Oh yeah, I thought, isn't he like fucking batshit insane?
Yeah, he's like big on aliens, dude. He's
Didn't
trying
he
to
say he
get-
got abducted like fucking the light? Wait, what's that movie called?
I don't think he got
The light,
abducted.
the light in the sky, fire in the sky. You ever see that?
No.
You know that guy that claims he was abducted by aliens and experimented on and stuff?
You need to be a little more specific.
The one guy that they made the movie about. Fuck, they wrote it. He had a book about it. He was on the news and everything. It was recently. It was like when we were kids.
No.
George St. Pierre?
Maybe.
George
I'm
St.
pretty
Pierre
sure
got
he's-
abducted by aliens?
Yeah.
I mean, he said something about aliens.
What?
Yeah. He was
Oh,
on
shit, it
Rogan like a couple years back and talked about how aliens were
Travis Walton. Okay, so this didn't happen when we were kids. This happened before we were born.
fucking, same thing.
It was an alleged abduction of an American forestry worker, November 5th, 75. And he was missing for 5 days, and he said he got abducted by aliens.
That
and
was
then-
Tom DeLonge?
No, I thought that's who Tom DeLonge was.
No, he was the singer from Blink 182. It's a totally different thing.
But yeah, he
was-
said he's been abducted though.
Did he say he's been abducted? I thought I thought someone like approached him and like told him a bunch of information, and like he couldn't tell other people about all the information, so he came on Joe Rogan to tell people that he couldn't tell everybody a bunch of information. Like that's basically the whole podcast.
That's basically most shows he does with people that like conspiracy theorists. They're I can't let America know the secret, even though if everybody knew the secret,
which is
could
funny.
topple the fucking industry.
Which is funny because Snowden was just like, here's everything.
Yep.
Like,
dude, it's all because he broke his legs.
Yes. If he never broke his legs, dude, think about it. If he didn't jump over that like tree or whatever he was jumping over.
Well, he's in Russia too. He's safe. He's all good.
Yeah, he's
but like people like Alex Jones, when he's on the Joe Rogan podcast,
oh, demonetized.
he'll be like,
You can't say his name.
George Soros, interdimensional child molesters.
that's a really good impression.
Well, you got to get the rasp.
Yeah.
That's the key.
But he'll be like, oh, I can't talk about it. Like, they'll kill me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know too, Joe Rogan. You know. You're just scared to say it. You don't want to lose your viewers.
You know more than I do.
You know more than I do, Joe Rogan. I like Joey Diaz a lot, but I find that
I fucking love him.
I only like Joey Diaz if he's on other people's shows.
Well, yes, because what's funny is like when I watch The Church of What's Happening Now, it's literally Joey talking for most of the episode, and then people being like, "Oh yeah, I kind of know that what you're talking about or whatever."
Yeah,
but I'm high, so
I just right. I love how he tortures that poor Lee Syatt. That's the funniest goddamn thing on the
You're
planet.
gonna eat that goddamn star, Lee. You're gonna eat that goddamn star.
What are you doing over there, cocksucker? How you feeling? There's one way back when, obviously, because Ralphie May's on it and he's dead now. But there's one where they just
spoiler alert. Dude.
Spoiler alert. They just got done doing acid, and I think Ralphie had like some necklace or something like that, and so when Lee was like kind of tripping out, they'll be like, "Hey, look at the yellow, look at the yellow," and every now and then like you would hear them be like, "Hey Lee, how you doing?" "Oh man, I'm really fucked up." "Come on, look at the yellow, cocksucker. What are you doing?"
That's so good, dude.
Did you see the episode with Owen Benjamin?
On the church, I don't watch.
On the church?
I don't watch it.
I think so.
Do you know who Owen Benjamin is?
Yeah, he's the guy from Oswego.
Yeah.
He's from here.
The one guy from Oswego.
The one guy from Oswego. He's
What about Eric Cole? He's from Oswego.
He's
right?
retired.
He's retired. Owen Benjamin's basically blackballed from every comedy club and podcast, essentially.
Yeah.
But there was an episode where he was on there. He got so stoned, he just walked out, and of course Joey just keeps talking for like another hour, and they're like, where did he go? And Lee's like, I think he left, and Joey was just like, fuck it, he just kept talking. Oh.
Did he really leave?
He left. They were like, you want to get some air? He's like, yeah, and they're like, do we need a bucket for you? No, I'm good. I just need to get some air, take a walk. He just left. Didn't show up.
They post it?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's hilarious. I gotta watch that one. I saw that he was on. I didn't know he fucking walked out. Sarah Tiana fucking went unconscious on that podcast, I'm pretty sure, once.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a video clip. I think I talked about this on one of my podcasts, but there's a video of his producer. His name's Lee Syatt, and he's just stoned to the gills. The video is called Lee Syatt in Outer Space.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That's so good. I gotta watch that periodically.
Oh, you
just 'cause
saved.
It's fucking hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a funny show. Like I said, it's mostly like Joey-isms, you know?
And he kind of adopted Lee, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lee's been doing like a stand-up lately and shit, and so I remember him recently talking about like he might eventually leave the show and start touring and shit.
I watched that. That was very emotional.
So hey, that'd be cool, you know?
Yeah, man.
I don't think any Joey Diaz appearance will ever beat his most recent Your Mom's House when he just showed up.
Yeah.
And he tells the story about the one-legged girl that he has sex with.
I watch that at least once a week.
I love when he like breaks character like in the middle of any story. He starts dying.
My favorite part of that video is Christina's reaction. The whole time you see her just like, Jesus Christ, and like trying to like cut him off. Well, it was good to see you, Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he keeps going.
He
Oh
keeps
my
going
God.
and like starts mixing in what she's saying to the story. She's like, "Sorry, I blacked out." He's like, "Oh yeah, you black out when I'm looking at your asshole." Like that's wait, what?
My tongue goes in your ass, honey. You black out like you're 14 and your uncle's molesting you.
It's fucking Tom spits out the water. Oh my gosh.
It's like I was on so much Valium, I busted in her mouth and she swallowed it. Put that bitch in a trance
For a week.
For a week. She probably ate that Chinese food and passed out. Woke up 6 days later.
Dude, I don't know how he's that good though.
But I love him on. I don't like him on his own show. I like him on everybody else's shows.
That's fair.
I don't really know if I like his stand up or not. I like his.
He's definitely more laid back on his own show.
I like his. This is not happening. Bits, but
dude, I think him and Theo are like two of the best. Like just at coming up with shit constantly, going like just off the top of their heads, and they come up with these like metaphors and shit. Like I don't know how the fuck they do it.
It all comes from their upbringing.
Yeah,
you know, and like Theo, I don't know what part of the states he's from.
I think he's from Louisiana.
Like extremely rural Louisiana, brother. Gang.
Okay, yeah. So with that probably comes a lot of metaphors and isms and shit like that.
It's like fucking Leanne Kreischer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, did you watch So Over October? That was like the fourth.
I watched the first two, I think.
I loved it. I honestly loved it. I could listen to Leanne Kreischer complain about her life.
She was basically like bitching about how Ari drugged fucking Bert.
No, there's
my gosh.
one of the third episode or second episode, she spends a solid 35 minutes complaining about her fucking maid.
And she ended up firing
She
her,
ends up
right?
firing her, yeah. But the way she did it was hilarious. She hired a better maid. And then was like, "You're going to work together." And then
That's hilarious. That
He's
is the way
into
to
it.
do it. It's a
but
good,
it's just so funny. Like they bitch
transition
about
phase.
Sober October, and then they bitch about Ari Shafir. But I love that. But just the upbringing things. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Leanne Kreischer that's what I thought of. She grew up
that's
in, like,
very accurate.
rural Missouri, and it's like I've been using my favorite one is "Don't eat life with both hands." Mm-hmm. I think that's fucking hilarious.
It's a good piece of advice.
Don't eat life with both hands.
You can interpret that any way you want, really.
I want to see like what like Joe Rogan's wife has to say about it, because you don't hear anything from her.
No, she's like completely out of the spotlight.
Because
She's way taller than Joe.
Is that it?
I think so.
It's got to be the
I
case.
think it is.
I mean, that's probably not hard because he's a short dude.
I mean, yeah,
but
his
but
dog-
she's like way taller.
His dog
Really?
Marshall is almost taller than he is.
did you see he gave Marshall his own Instagram account?
Yeah.
I think his wife runs it or something.
Oh, really? Okay. It'd be kind of weird if Joe ran it. I don't know how to feel about that.
It's hilarious. So,
But what was it? Oh, have you watched Two Bears, One Cave?
Of course, a new episode came out today.
I know. I saw it on Seth's TV earlier.
I didn't get to watch it yet. I'm gonna watch it when I get home.
Me neither. That one's really funny because they'll talk about their wives and stuff, and then they'll call their wives, be like, "Hey, Leanne, like, quick question. Would you put a finger in my ass?" And then like 2 seconds later, Tom will call Christina and ask the same question.
Yeah, yeah. Two Bears, One Cave is great. I love that when they have Leanne and Christina fucking. It's like once an episode they call him and ask him a question. They debate.
Or they'll call Dr. Drew.
Yep.
yeah.
I have completely turned around on Dr. Drew after watching
Drew
him
After
on
Dark or
Dr. Drew After Dark.
After Dark, fucking Your Mom's House. But I love the Two Bears, One Cave. Like the first episode or the second episode when Tom had that young girl just keep feeding shots of vodka or glasses of vodka to Bert. They were giving Bert like glasses of vodka and Tom was drinking just ice water.
I love the opening. I think it was episode 3. As soon as they started the feed or whatever, Tom goes, will you stop saying the N-word?
Yeah. Dude, he does open those with like a quick little line like they were talking about some shit before.
Yeah. And then I think episode 5, they showed like different clips of people did editing so it made Bert sound racist.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, the fucking cartoon with 2 bears on it. Do you guys see that?
Oh, yeah, I saw that too.
Fuck. So
He is the
funny.
most racist comedian.
I
He
thought
is.
the episode they did where they had
And he's
all
fat.
the, people sending in the theme songs, that was really
Yeah,
cool.
that was
'Cause,
good.
Like, a lot of them were really cool. Mm-hmm. I remember, I was like, that one's got to be it. And then the next one came on, and I'm like, oh,
Right.
shit, that one's definitely it. Like, they were all nasty as hell.
I thought the one they're now closing with was going to be their opener.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. And it's very fitting. Another Joey Diaz episode or podcast that I fucking watch all the time is him on Joe Rogan. I think
Don't tell me. Is it episode 163?
No.
Oh.
Episode 1000 with him and Tom Segura.
Oh, that one's great. He's changing flavors.
He's changing flavors. And he's talking about getting his dick sucked by the 21-year-old.
Oh my god.
I want my $40.
Yeah. That's the world of comedy, ladies and gentlemen. That's the world we live in. Yeah. That's great.
What's the one with one or what'd you say?
163.
163.
It's my favorite episode of the fucking podcast. It's got Doug Stanhope on, and he's tripping on mushrooms.
Oh Jesus!
But he cuts off at a certain point. They're talking about a story, and Doug had been completely silent for like 5 minutes, and then Joey's talking. He goes, "Hey Joey, did you steal my change jar off of my coffee table in the late 90s?" Change jar? What the fuck are you talking about a change jar? I think you did. I called you Joey Jingles for a while. I forgot about that. And he gets wicked flustered. So Joey gets so flustered about getting accused of stealing and just deflects the whole
He
time.
definitely stole the change jar.
He definitely did.
He definitely
Joey Jingles.
He definitely kidnapped someone.
Yeah,
He's
kidnapped
definitely
people.
kidnapped
Like,
somebody.
Dude, it's so funny because like all of his stories, and somehow every one of his podcasts, like there's another story that you didn't know about his past.
Right.
And like you're like, how the fuck did you do all these? How many times have you lived? Like, how did you do all this shit?
Have you watched The Honeydew with Ryan Sickler?
No, I haven't seen that.
It's a podcast.
Oh,
off-
yeah.
It's a branch of Your Mom's House, similar to Dr. Drew After Dark and So Over October and all those. It's with Ryan Sickler, who's a comedian who travels with Tom Segura a lot, and he basically gets the insight on the comedians, the story behind the storytellers.
Yeah.
That's his.
It's really good.
And so
I like Sickler.
Joey, I love his laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, and so he's had Josh Potter on twice, which is they're really good. He's had Joey Diaz on twice. The first time, because of how much shit they were talking about, or how much Joey was talking about with his life, only got up to when he was 8 years old or 9 years old or some shit. And then the next time he was there on the podcast, he got to like maybe 13, maybe.
He's fucking wild.
And he was talking about beating the shit out of the nun and all that stuff.
How does he even remember any of this shit though?
He probably tells those stories all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's how it came about, was that he had such crazy shit happen to him, and he would tell the stories and
Right.
just, he won't forget them.
And he's a good storyteller though. He's able to make him comedic too. Like,
And he does it for a living,
Right.
too.
Yeah. Well, now he does, but when he started, he didn't.
Well, he could have.
Obviously, because he does, right?
You can never win with him.
Have you watched The Degenerates on Netflix?
Oh yeah, that's the one that's like, what do they get, a half hour or something?
Half
like that?
hour, yeah.
No.
Joey has a special on there. So you were talking about his stand-up, and you didn't know how you felt about it. That's one I check out.
Yeah, I remember watching. What was it called? There was a streaming service that like died out like not even a year ago.
Periscope?
No, Diaz. Actually, Periscope still exists, I think.
Okay.
But Diaz was on. I think he did a special for it. Oh, CISO, it was called, and it was like an NBC affiliate or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
They were like a streaming platform, and he did a special on there, and I watched that. And then I think it moved. I think it's on like Amazon Prime or something like that now.
Yeah.
So there's one on there too.
Okay.
And I don't know. Like is there another one on Netflix? Maybe I know he's on The Degenerates.
He's not on any other ones to my knowledge. There are like 3 or 4 different like we'll call them showcase shows or series, because that's essentially what they are. There's one called The Stand-Ups.
Yep.
Comedians Around the World.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I think D'Elia was in that one.
D'Elia was in that one, and I'm missing Nick Swartzen was also in that one.
Yeah.
I'm missing another one, but fuck, I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I think there's a handful of them on Netflix. I know. I don't know. I think Joey needs to like
Comedy Lineup. That's the other one.
Oh, okay. I wonder if he was ever on Comedy Central or anything like that, like a premium blend or whatever.
He was on. Gabriel Iglesias had a showcase show called Stand Up Revolution about 6-7 years ago,
Yeah,
like when we were in high school, maybe. So pushing 10 years ago now, and they, because it was on Comedy Central, you couldn't say fuck or anything like that. But when Joey Diaz was on, and they were like, the producers were like, you can't do anything like too raunchy, you know. And Gabriel was like, fuck it, like I'm paying for it, like we'll just put you on as like a late night kind of a thing. Yeah. And so sure enough, they did it. They had like a late night 2:00 in the morning segment where they had a couple of other performers, but Joey Diaz was one of them and killed it.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, it's all monologue obviously, but it's a story wise, like that's all it is. It's just literally like a version of what he does on his podcast, but you can tell it's a little more on rails, you know. Like he's planned it out. He's rehearsed it in those certain ways. You wonder how maybe he does like maybe stand-up bits don't work out and he just tells those stories on his podcast, or you know, you never know. I feel like a lot of comedians have podcasts just because it's a good way to like rehearse and like see what's like, you know, keep your brain firing in a way is what it does for them.
It also occupies their time during the day because they're performing out at night and on weekends, shit like that. Yeah. And it's a good way to make money. How much does Joe Rogan make per episode? Like, I saw 75 grand. I don't know if that's true.
Gotta make tons of fucking money per episode. He gets millions of fucking views. Plus even more millions of downloads on his audio versions.
Right. The number I heard was 75,000, but don't quote me on that.
I mean, even if it was 50,
that's still crazy.
Like
amount.
Per episode, he does at least like 4 a week. That's insane. And then he can just go, I'm gonna fuck off for a week. That's the coolest thing too, is he can just go, time to take a break. I'm going hunting somewhere, you know. And he can do it whenever he wants. He's his own boss. I just want, dude, if I was Jamie, that'd be the fucking dream gig, you know?
Well, that's why we were talking about Lee Sayal. I was like, that might be something you might want to apply for.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's going to be leaving eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know how I get my resume to him, but...
They're accepting applications for Your Mom's House, or at least that like network of podcasts.
Yeah, because they only have like fucking 4 people or whatever that are working on all those podcasts.
Yeah. So,
and they're trying to get Josh to come still too. So like,
that must take a lot of time.
Yeah,
trying to figure out.
I love how they have an entire campaign dedicated to making him jizz. It's so fucking good. He's supposed to meet that girl soon, isn't he? That one girl that they've been fucking... They showed like 3 or 4 like applicants or whatever, and then he picked this one chick. Now he's gonna meet up with her.
They showed a couple of the videos on the podcast.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then he started doing the fucking cameo things where he would like show his feet and like his. That's so
he was a sex worker that specialized in feet and shoulders.
Yeah, because he does have quite a bit of shoulder hair.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I just think I like the idea of being a podcast producer. That'd be fun as fuck.
Yeah. The big thing is, especially if you're going to live in Los Angeles, you got to make sure it's a living, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, shit's got to be so expensive there.
Yeah.
Like,
just living there in general is fucking expensive as shit.
Like, the housing situation, I think it's better than New York, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
But everything else has to be hella expensive.
Yeah, especially from what I hear is like Manhattan is
Manhattan is outrageous.
Yeah.
Even like Brooklyn or Bronx, it's like $1,500, $2,000 a month. And you got
it's hilarious.
And
It's so ridiculous.
And you got like 5 people crammed in a room like this. Yeah. That's the whole apartment for $1,000 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. I visited a friend of mine last year, and he roomed with 2 guys. It was 3 of them, and like he had to like my fat ass. I was like walking in the hallway sideways. This is how small this fucking place was, and they put the couch like right in the middle of the hallway, and so you would have to like parkour your way around like to get into the living room, which is also the kitchen. Mm-hmm. It's insane.
Dude, that sounds fucking awful. That sounds fucking awful. Are you kidding me? Yeah. That's like, oh my God.
Especially with 3 other... Dude, like, you'd be plugging each other's holes on accident, like, all the time, you know?
Like, I don't think humans are meant to live that in such a small space with that many people. I don't think you're supposed to live like that.
Yeah,
I really don't.
No. Where do you find the time to, like... jerk off and shit, you know?
Just close your door.
No,
put a sock on the doorknob or something.
I guess.
Yeah, except your door is also the front door. Like,
yeah, your door is also the kitchen / living room.
Yeah.
You're like taking a shower and you're washing your hands and you're watching TV and you're cooking a steak at the same time.
And you're jerking off.
I think it's like you'd have like a corner. Maybe
2 probably.
Yeah, like a designated jizz corner.
Yeah, and like just say headphones and everyone knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or have some sort of code word.
Yeah, everybody has noise canceling headphones.
Know me at all? I would just be like, hey, I'm gonna go jerk off in the corner. Like,
yeah.
I'm not subtle. I'm not subtle at all.
I was gonna say, or you just start.
Yeah.
Like someone's playing video games, you just hear Jake, god damn it.
Yeah. Just let them know that you're trying to get it.
No,
like
you really
chubbed.
can't. You can't hear me.
You're a silent fabber when you're butt naked.
Yep, that's the point.
You can do it quiet. It's just
the calluses take away a lot of the noise.
Yeah,
it's just a lot of like skin on skin friction.
Yeah, but you said you take your shirt off and like you get completely naked.
I get completely naked.
Yeah, and light candles.
Light candles. Yep.
I didn't say that last part.
Well, I said you did.
Put on Boys of Men.
Yeah, Boys of Men.
Boys to Men.
Boys of Men.
That'd be a good that'd be a good porno parody.
We're gonna make boys out of these men.
Boys to Men.
I'd watch that show. You're just like violently sexually assaulting politicians you disagree with, and turn them back into boys.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, Coney 2012.
Sounds like The Family on Netflix.
Sounds like Modern Family on ABC. Just
oh Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was thinking about how fucking awesome it was that I got to watch Scrubs yesterday.
Where like what platform?
On
a TV.
Yeah.
No shit, but like it was just on cable or
I need more context.
Yeah. Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Nice. There you go.
You got to watch Scrubs.
I got to watch Scrubs yesterday.
I feel like you watch Scrubs every day, don't you?
No, yesterday I did.
That's a mistake.
Did they just put it on Hulu?
No, it's like always been on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
They
just
probably took it off and then put it back on Hulu.
Yeah.
Someone was just talking about Scrubs.
I was just now.
Oh fuck, that's right.
That was a couple minutes ago. But
I like that show. We watched the episode where Jill dies of rabies and they transplant her organs to those 3 patients.
Wow, spoilers.
And then the patients all die. Then Dr. Cox becomes an even worse alcoholic, and he shows up on alcohol to work, drunk. And then they're like, we got to take shifts. We got to protect Dr. We have to make sure he doesn't die. And then they're like, I'm going to go see Dr. Cox. And then they go and see him. Jesus. And then Carla goes and sees him. And then Turk goes and sees him. And then they're like, JD, it's your turn. He's like, I don't want to go see him. And then he does want to go see him. And then he makes everything better because he tells Dr. Cox that he's a good doctor.
Yeah.
This sounds like Grey's Anatomy.
It's the whole episode.
It sounds like I don't even have to watch the episode anymore.
No, that's
You
the
just-
whole episode. Oh,
Yeah,
and the Todd comes out of the closet. It's a good episode.
Even bigger spoilers.
That's
There's also the episode we watched with Michael J. Fox where he has OCD, and throughout the whole episode, he's like the best doctor that JD's ever seen, and replaces Dr. Cox as his mentor. And then at the very end, JD is like, "I gotta go talk to Michael J. Fox as Dr. Kevin Casey because I'm mad at him because that's the plot we're going with." And then he goes and he's like, "Hey, we got to talk." And Dr. Kevin Casey starts crying because he can't stop washing his hands because he has severe OCD. And then he tells JD, he goes, "A lot of people have their own problems, but I'm not going to be the kind of person that places my burden on people. I'm going to take care of my own business."
I see what you're saying there.
That's that whole episode. Season 3, episode 12. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. The Catalyst. The Catalyst is the name of the episode.
Okay.
Oh shit.
But yeah, it's a good show. I got to watch it yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, you said something about that. Somebody was just saying that they watched Scrubs recently.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
On Hulu?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Might have been you, actually. I don't know.
Probably. I do enjoy Scrubs.
Yeah, man. So you play in a black metal band, right?
Yeah.
Hardcore black metal.
How hardcore?
Norwegian throat singing.
Yeah.
Throat fucking.
Throat fucking.
Throat hole fucking.
Shout out to what's that guy's name?
Ed Kemper.
Ed
Dude.
Kemper.
You got to remember his name. He's going to be on your show.
I know. Fuck. I gotta do my homework.
Well, you got to email him first.
Yeah.
edkemper@murder.com. Throatfucking.com.
Is that an actual website?
It probably is. For
I'm
sure.
kinda-
it is. He's gonna
let's
go to
find this out.
I got it.
It's going to say, membership required. Immediately, it's going to say that.
And then try to use that email you were just saying
Yeah,
Might
yeah,
work.
log in with that.
with a password. Rest in peace, mom.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Mom 1. Because it's got to have a number.
Exclamation point.
There we go. Travis Walton.
Oh, Jesus, it's on here?
Yeah. .com. And
There it is.
boy, that's not.
Well,
That's not
the
a real
domain.
thing.
The domain isn't purchased. The domain throwfucking.com.
well, no, the domain is purchased, but this person owns it and wants to sell it. Basically, is what they're saying.
the throatfucking.com.
No, that's
wait.
The
What if we
throat
did
fucking? You put
throat
the throat
fuck?
fuck.
What if we did throat fuck king?
And Google that. And
Yeah.
then
Throat fuck king.
King throat fuck.
Shane,
Sierra King.
Shauna Lane, best throat fuck. Cum dripping out of her nose, intense POV throat fuck for Suki Suki girl. I like that one.
Cone dripping out of her nose! Exclamation point! Exclamation.
Face, there it is, throatfucktube.com. We found it.
Oh, shit.
Okay, hardcore gagging videos. Look at how stretched those images are.
Jesus.
This is like from '97.
I like that one.
That one's good, yeah. You know, it's always good when it looks like the Undertaker stuck in your dick.
He comes in here, ding.
Yeah, and their eyes are just rolled back.
That's a lot of throat fucking videos. I like that. There's only one page.
Yeah. It says next, and there's only one page. They're gearing up for the next page.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Never thought I'd see porn on a podcast. You know, there's a first for everything.
Hey, Cam, do you want to see a really funny video?
Yeah. Let's. I'm terrified, but yeah, let's do it. This is exactly what happens on Tom Segura's podcast. On Your Mom's House. He's like, hey, have you ever seen this? And show something super fucked up.
Dude, I would never do that.
Oh, you would never do that.
I can't do it anyway. It won't let me reconnect.
They showed Robert Paul Champagne jerking off on one of the videos.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they showed him do it. He had it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure he got kicked off of YouTube already, but
With his titles aren't titles.
they're just numbers and like
Numbers
letters.
and letters. Just however it like appeared on his videos.
I don't understand how that even happens, though.
Wouldn't it be like off of the phone? Like
It's got to be like the raw file. Of
Yes,
the phone
yeah.
Or whatever. That's so wild, dude. He has no idea. What
and
he's
they're
doing.
all exactly 10 minutes long.
Yeah. I think his phone probably has like a recording like thing set up where it stops after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he probably hits share, then YouTube, and then just posts it. Like that's probably how it works. Where do you think you're going there?
That wasn't the same guy that fucked up the McDonald's sponsorship, was it?
No, that was Uncle
I
Terry.
could have restarted that, but
No, it wasn't connected.
I know I could have restarted that. So
No,
Uncle Terry was
Uncle Terry, the guy that had the fucking the fuck
was the one-
sleeve.
Yeah.
yeah, fucking himself in the butt. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasted his load.
Yeah.
Or he came too quick or whatever.
He was on a Netflix show.
What?
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right. They did show something like that, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah. McDonald's sponsorship. I love that shit. How they like painted the whole when they got the new
Yellow
studio,
and
it was like
red.
yellow and red, and then everybody hated it. So they're like, "Yeah, we were sponsored by McDonald's," and made up this whole fucking thing.
I love when didn't they play the voicemail from the guy basically saying, "Yeah, we're done," and like change the colors or else there's going to be like some serious like lawsuits happening. Oh, fuck.
I didn't realize it was real until way later.
And then they did like a Morton Steakhouse type look.
Yeah. Like more burgundy and brown.
Yeah, I like it better that way, but
So you're in luck because you're unfortunate because
No,
the
you're
funny
not.
video I was going to show you isn't on YouTube anymore. I'm pretty sure Seth got it removed.
What was it?
I think reported it like
It
100
was
times.
like a wicked funny video. I don't understand why they would take
Well,
it.
it was
off
basically just a dog killing another dog. Right?
YouTube. Yeah,
Oh, I've heard about this.
yeah, it happens like every day, but this time they got it on video.
Was it like a what kind of dog was that?
It was a husky.
Okay,
It was also alive. The poodle was also alive.
Yeah, it was
at
like
the time.
it was like twitching
Not
and
for
shit.
that long.
Yeah, it was like. Yeah, it sounded like a CD skipping.
Yeah, Zamaya was telling me about that.
Oh yeah, I made him watch it.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to like make everybody watch it, but it's
Yeah,
not.
but now it's off YouTube, so that bit's gone. For
Here,
us.
I got something for you.
It's because I reported it.
If it's the video I was going to show you, I'm going to fucking blow you. If you're like, actually, I have the I have the
Actually,
raw video.
I
here.
uploaded it onto YouTube.
Yeah, I was there.
No.
I am the dog.
I'm the husky.
Let's see.
The husky lived to tell the tale too. So
Dude, that dog.
we should have the husky on.
Him up.
See what he has to say about it.
We should show him some TikToks.
I don't have them anymore. They're not on my phone anymore. I'm not going to just save all the TikToks, hold on to them on my phone, you know?
Fuck.
Actually, maybe I do. Let me look real quick.
Here
Now,
you go.
everybody, let's all look. What's that? See, what's it? Describe what you're seeing,
I like it.
word for word.
I really like it. I like how you hit it.
I like how you have no reaction. Just I like it.
What
I
are you
like,
going to do?
I like that you have that saved to your phone.
I had to dig for it. I don't have it saved.
I'm sure you don't. It's casual eye roll.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy shit.
No, right?
She had 5 rubber ducks in her asshole.
Yeah, man.
That's a lot of rubber ducks.
That's a lot of rubber
That's
ducks.
fine. 5 of 'em,
You know
dude.
what? Let me know when she puts actual ducks in her asshole.
Then you'll be impressed.
You have ducks in your asshole?
Yeah, I have ducks in my asshole.
Yeah, what is so complicated?
What is so
about that?
complicated about that? Here, we'll do.
That should be the new Aflac sponsor.
No,
What are you doing?
we're gonna get copyright
Yeah,
stricken.
I'm demonetized immediately. We already did it, dude. We got Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. I'll just keep saying Alex Jones every half hour or so.
AJ.
AJ. Are you guys big into like the Marvel movies and shit?
I have an Incredible Hulk
No.
Band-Aid, so yeah.
Okay.
I I don't like him at all.
Okay, that's fine.
Who was I talking to about that?
I gotta show them.
Somebody that was on the last couple times we talked about
It's
it.
Incredible Hulk.
Brian, when we had Brian on, I talked about. I like this though.
What the fuck? Oh my god. What is going on? Why is this in landscape? TikTok can be in landscape?
Yeah. Why is this not? It's not working.
Because you're casting it to the fucking,
Fine.
you're casting it to the thing. It's not going to work.
Yeah, it never works. It's a piece of shit.
Works for me, though.
Doesn't ever do that.
I think
Well,
you
here's
gotta
what
use
here's all I'll say about the Marvel movies. They just came out with Spider-Man, the most recent Spider-Man movie, and they have a character on there who's a news reporter, and they make his studio and his overall aura very Alex Jones-esque.
Oh, shit. It says, InfoWars and everything.
Pretty much. They might as well have. Like, everything looks very...
Was it the one with Mysterio?
Yes.
Because I watched that one a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Rey Mysterio?
Yes.
Oh, shit. 619.
That was...
dude.
It was really
619.
good. But I like Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
That's the only reason plus I had to watch it.
Yeah.
Otherwise I wasn't allowed to have any stuffed crust pizza.
I like when he shoots the webs out of his hands.
I thought it was very good. The final battle scene was pretty great. The twist at the very end was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. I wonder if the Sentry will come into play.
Yeah.
Maybe he can turn into the Void Sentry and just like revert everything back to the beginning.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah, or like Galactus just shows up and he's like, "Fuck you." Much.
That's what they're hoping with this Fox merger or buyout, whatever you want to call it, with Disney, is that they can now have the rights of people like Galactus
Yeah.
and do something
Who
with them.
owns the X-Men? Sony?
Fox.
Fox.
It was Fox, but now they Disney basically bought them out and now have the rights to X-Men again.
For fuck's sake, I wonder how much that costs. For the rights to X-Men.
I really enjoy the X-Men, but it is kind of like a low. It's like a worse version of.
Well, you could.
It's like the Fantastic Four is here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is here.
Whoa.
Well,
Justice League is a little above that.
Uh-huh.
And then you have
it's above Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. The TV show.
That's the thing is, like, I feel like it's a matter of how well the movies are done or like the shows are
Right.
done.
Oh,
not
if we're
like-
doing movies, then X-Men is the one right below Marvel, and it's
'Cause it's
right
like-
above DC.
And then Justice League is all the way down here.
yeah, the DC movies are bad. They're like I like the new X-Men movies a lot, like Days of Future Past and
That was good.
Apocalypse, and I didn't see Dark Phoenix.
I heard it was shit.
I heard it was bad.
I didn't mind Apocalypse as much as other people did.
Yeah, but Days of Future Past is like one of my favorite superhero movies ever.
I haven't
Okay.
really seen many of the X-Men
I think
ones.
I like the scope of the X-Men movies more because it's not like every fucking movie isn't like a global and universal threat. X-Men's like self-contained.
Yeah, it's like
The stakes are
it's like
lower.
Buddhism.
Yeah, it's kind of like Buddhism.
Yeah.
They're detached from reality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's more contained. It's more personal.
that's what I like about the X-Men. It's like they're dealing with, things that they could realistically deal with.
Sure.
More locally, not globally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, you got to act locally.
Yeah, X-Men is
think
like the
glo-
small
think-
town.
They're your neighborhood X-Men.
Yeah, X-Men is the Poughkeepsie to Marvel Cinematic Universe's New York City.
That's actually a perfect description. Of
Like X-Men is Reno, Marvel Cinematic Universe is Las Vegas.
yes.
And then fucking the Justice League and DC movies is Bisbee, Arizona.
I feel like if I watched the Marvel movies, I'd have to like start from the beginning because I feel like the way they mix them all together, it's like I would like to at least to experience it the right way.
Yeah, especially with Endgame, they bring almost every single movie, like they reference it at some point.
Yeah.
All 21 of them.
Their budgets have to be fucking gigantic.
Robert Downey Jr. alone, it gets like $50 million
Yeah.
per movie now.
Yeah, but you gotta
dead.
get mix in Paul Rudd,
Yeah.
Dude, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be the new Dr. Dolittle, and I'm really upset.
Did you see the trailer for it?
Because fuck you, it's January. Yeah.
You see, Eddie Murphy's got a movie coming out too.
Dolomite.
I already
It's
saw
already
it.
out. Is
Yeah.
it good?
It's solid. It's like a less crazy version of The Disaster Artist.
See. I feel like it's pretty decent, but I don't know if it's because it is or because I'm just excited that Eddie Murphy is back.
You know what? You know what the best movie ever is though? It's fucking Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Disco.
I remember.
I will never not laugh at that movie ever. It's so good. The first scene where
classic.
where he catches like a fish in his ass. It's like immediately you're like, this is setting the tone, dude. Like, yes,
It's not.
it's happening.
He's winning tug of war with a bull.
Yeah, he fucking like playing ping pong and shit, butt
There-
naked.
One thing I would have loved. Have you guys seen Inglourious Bastards? Mm-hmm. You know how Eli Roth plays the bear Jew?
Yeah.
Did you know that was supposed to be Adam Sandler?
Really?
Yeah. It was originally supposed to be Adam Sandler, but he literally was filming Grown Ups 1.
I feel like Adam Sandler's in every movie. You just can't see him. Like, you know what I mean? Or
Kind
he's
of like Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder,
yeah.
or like Johnny Depp in Black Mass.
Or Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, or Charlie Murphy in Dolomite.
Yeah, it's similar to that.
Shit.
Yeah,
I don't know if I don't think that worked out.
but
Have you ever seen Secret Window?
Secret Window.
It's got Johnny Depp.
Secret Window.
He's a writer, and he has like split personality.
Isn't that a Stephen King book?
Could be. That's a really good movie.
I'm thinking of something different.
It's like
I
a
think you're
it's
thinking
like
of Beetlejuice.
it's like a psychological like thriller sort of thing.
Sort of like Jacob's Ladder,
Sort
or
of.
like Session 9.
He basically like writes a book. Like he lives out in the fucking woods or whatever by himself. He writes a book and like it basically comes true as he's writing it. Or he writes a book and like some other guy wrote it, and there's this whole like split personality thing where I don't want to give too much away, obviously, but
It's sort of
fucking
like
really
Eternal
cool.
Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with a dash of Bullet for My Valentine.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of As I Lay Dying in there too.
And what I meant to say was My Bloody Valentine in 3D.
Yeah.
You ever watch the Die Hard movies?
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah, same.
I haven't seen any of them.
Are they coming out with the new one?
Yeah, they are.
That
Yeah.
Terminator's coming out soon.
I loved the first two. I didn't see any of them after that. I remember they had the one where it was in Russia and they were killing normal people.
It's terrible.
Live free or die
Live Free,
hard.
Die Hard. Terrible.
The new
Well, Jai
Terminator-
Courtney was in it, so you knew it was going to be
True.
bad.
I heard that the new Terminator movie is actually wicked good.
Yeah, it's, one of the people said it's the best one since Judgment Day,
Yeah.
which is a very bold statement.
Yeah, because
I
I
hope it
really
has
liked the
fucking-
third one.
I hope it has Marcus
What was the
Phoenix
third
in
one
it.
called? It wasn't Damnation. It wasn't Salvation.
No, Salvation, that was like
That
10
was the
years ago.
fourth one, yeah. That was the one. They made the PlayStation 3 tie-in game. And
then
all
Genesis.
if you beat a level, you got a gold trophy, and that's how my cousin Nick beat me in trophy score. So,
So you'll never forget that.
So yeah,
Nope, never forget
you're
that.
not better.
But I don't remember the third Terminator movie. You know what movies I loved, even though they were trash?
What?
The Resident Evil movies.
I don't think I've ever seen. I've bits and pieces,
They're bad, but they're great.
Yeah.
just like Zohan.
Yeah, but
Except for that's inherently
the Zohan is objectively bad.
No, that's pretty much not though. You know,
What's your guys' favorite Adam Sandler movies? Everybody has a different answer.
We don't mess with the Zohan.
You were gonna say Big Daddy.
No, I wasn't gonna say Big Daddy.
I would say Mr. Deeds.
See, I like Little Nicky, but I also love Happy Gilmore. It's either one.
That's
of them.
a go-
Depends on the day.
Little Nicky is the less common one that people go with.
Yeah, I fucking love it, dude. It's great.
That's a hidden gem.
I really like Happy Gilmore a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like I can just watch that movie all the time though.
Whoosh! Every time he hits the ball.
It's not like I don't know. It doesn't really seem to get old for me for some reason.
No, because it's a good story.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the few that has a good story.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great actor. He's just not a good story writer, teller. Does he write the movies or just direct?
He produces
I
them.
think he does. Yeah.
But he'll have like go-to directors.
Yeah, like Paul Rudd
And
or Javier Bardem,
Javier, Benicio del Toro.
Chris Tucker.
Yep, that's yep. Have you seen any of his like serious stuff?
Like Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah.
Or Remember Me.
Remember Me.
Reign Over Me.
Reign Over Me.
Remember Me was the one with
that's with
the 9/11 movie. But
Yeah.
That one's way more
with
serious.
Robert Pattinson.
that had nothing to do with 9/11 until the very end.
It was great. Never forget.
At the end, they're just like, "Oh yeah, it was also 9/11."
and they're like, oh, like he happened to be in the Twin Towers. Like,
That's what. Oh, can you imagine if have you ever seen the Final Destination movies?
yeah, I've seen a couple. I've seen the fifth one.
Final Destination 9/11. Like they have to make a ninth one. They have to make a ninth one, and then like the whole movie is them realizing, oh, these planes are gonna crash in the World Trade Center, but then they're like, should we tell anybody? And then they don't tell anybody because it's a documentary.
Well, that's the problem. Is that I think it was one of them was based like on a plane.
Yeah, the first one was.
Okay,
The very
yeah.
first one. They're going to fucking France. They're going to Paris for a school trip.
Okay.
And
Well, wasn't Snowden talking about that kind of shit though? Anyway, like how they knew about it and they were not really putting the information out until way too late. Like the CIA like knew about this kind of shit that was about to go down, and then they like evacuated the CIA.
Was that
or
part of the
some shit.
podcast?
Yeah.
I'd have to listen again.
He was talking about
missed
how
that.
like the CIA basically evacuated and fucking because they thought they were going to attack there.
Uh-huh.
And if anyone needs to be active at that time, it's the fucking
Right.
CIA. So, and they just evacuated and didn't tell people and shit. They didn't have the right information coming in.
I think that's part of it. I have a friend who's in the military, and he was talking about that roughly. The government gets in so much information, and they can only take so much of it and pass it on.
Yeah.
And with like, if it's credible and it has like you can back it up essentially.
Yeah.
And so they might not have had all the information to prioritize. Oh, we need to cover the Pentagon, fucking World Trade Center, and wherever else, because they were supposed to hit like a bunch of places,
Yeah, there was a bunch of targets.
including, from what I heard, the nuke plants here in Oswego.
Yikes.
That's what I heard. I don't know if that's
that
true.
would've sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't have known. Just be gone.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
No, I mean,
Didn't realize you were an expert. Didn't realize we had an expert here.
Or we get radiation and turn into Spider-Man and X-Men.
Well, how do you know? How do you know it's actually nuclear waste? How do you know it's actually a nuke plant?
Yeah,
Getting into real conspiracy stuff
Yeah,
now.
maybe it's not.
How can I
Maybe-
tell a nuke plant from a normal plant?
I feel like it's
How do I know they're making nukes there?
Yeah. Well, that's not what they're.
How do I know? I've never seen anything.
I think
nuclear.
they're just making clouds because you can see all the clouds come out of the stacks. And
I like that conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Very much so.
it's a weather control operation.
Yup. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Geostorms. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
No.
It's the it's
Bladestorm
HARP.
is the game
It's
you're
the
thinking
HARP
of. Bladestorm,
project.
the 1,000 Years War.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, did you see the thing that social media sites are trying to do where they're like going to try and fact check certain articles and shit and like have like a
Yeah.
little flare that shows like if it's a true
I love that. I love
fucking
that.
story or not?
I think it's great.
It's hilarious.
So we're not going to
'Cause-
see anything on The Onion anymore?
No,
I can't-
no, we're only going to see the Onion.
No, it's just going to say fake news on it.
Yeah, we're only going to see left wing
Yeah.
information
It's going to be
for the
hilarious.
rest of our lives.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Wasn't Mark Zuckerberg just in Congress about that?
Yeah.
I saw a little video clip of it with AOC.
Yeah, that guy.
Getting on his-
Fuck that guy, you know.
Fuck that guy.
Facebook is so shot nowadays.
No, it's basically like I've heard that it's like it's biased towards like the left, in favor of the left, but then I've also heard that it's like catered to what you like and where you lean politically. So I don't know who
The
to believe.
idea is that the algorithm is supposed to give you whatever you are interested in,
Right.
Which is bad. You don't really want that.
No. Well, you shouldn't have that. Most people do want that. Well, but you shouldn't have
That's
it.
the thing, though, is you get into that fucking, like, your own little environment where everything's agreeing with your opinions.
Right. And you're not getting the other side of the coin.
Yeah, it never happens.
No. That's why I rate BBC. Big Black Cocks.
Yeah.
That. Okay.
BBC.com/Cox.
Oh my god. That's where you get the throw fucking from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you play video games at all?
Not like online. I fuck around with GTA 5, but just like on story mode and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, it's always a thing to go back to and just fucking do whatever. That game's so free that you can just kind of jump in and do whatever you want.
I thought it was still $60.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it's free, like
Free reign.
yeah.
You can eat life with both hands.
Yeah,
All right,
it's true.
Leanne. No, I'm terrible at the Call of Duty games. I'm mediocre like the sports games, like the 2Ks. 2Ks, I can't fucking stand their graphics. They are terrible, I think.
They seem I think it's the graphics are good, but the animations are bad.
Okay.
Or maybe it's the other way around. The animations are like I noticed with not
I don't think
with NBA the graphics that are good are like the player models.
WWE is atrocious.
Oh yeah, the new one is fucking shot.
Like,
They're refunding it. Anybody that bought it can get it refunded.
really? It's that bad?
It's that bad.
I saw it. I saw a trailer. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are we in 2005 right now?"
They still look like PS2 games, basically.
Yeah.
Well, they showed like a comparison between last year's and this year's, and it's like, it's almost like they use the skins, the
How do
graphics
you
from PS3.
downgrade? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. The whole game is there. All you gotta do is put different characters
Dude,
in the
2K
game.
is like one of the worst companies that nobody complains about. Because
Yeah.
I think they're almost worse than EA. Like the fucking trailer for the new 2K didn't even have gameplay features. It was just showing off all the stuff you can buy with microtransactions.
Yeah, but there's a lot of casuals that play at the 2K basketball games, though. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I think it's when you focus your whole marketing campaign on your ultimate team. Like, because even Madden doesn't do that. Madden will be like, oh, we got new features. 2K doesn't have... They had the benefit of already having a game with, like, maximum features, especially for NBA. Like, 2K14 was, like, the perfect basketball game. And then they're like, well, we have everything people want. We have everything that Madden used to have. It's, you know what I mean?
It seems like all the games are going to push microtransactions all the time anyway. Doesn't matter. Like, as soon as you get into the game, they're just going to push you towards
when you
a
start the
fucking
game,
store. Any sort of virtual store to try and get you to pay
Dude,
more.
that shit makes me so annoyed when I'm playing like a franchise in Madden, and on the bottom ticker it's like, new card just came out. Get a 92 overall Jerome Bettis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like,
want
dude,
that.
fuck you.
Was EA like associated with a Live? Like they had 2K and then Live.
Yeah, EA was
back
Live.
in the day. Okay.
And Live was the basketball game, but then they
Still
started...
make it, don't they?
Nope. Well, yeah, they made it last year. I think they started making it again.
Yeah.
But they aren't pushing the ultimate team. And actually, NBA Live, it's harder, but it's not as fun. That's what I like about 2K, is that it's very arcadey. I was playing it before I left.
I guess it's a matter of if you want it to be arcadey or not, right?
Yeah, you would expect 2K to be the more simulation wise, like the more realistic one, because that's how it was when they made football games. The football games they made were the fucking best.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but NBA Live, it's a lot more difficult, but it's slower too. It's very like the whole way that EA makes their games, their menus are so shot. Like they're so.
It's because they've had the same menu for 9 years, and then
Yeah.
they just keep reskinning it, and it's
so
all
bad.
it's the game's basically loading all the skins from the past 9 years, and as you move around the
I
menu.
remember I went to fucking Zamaya's a while ago to play NHL, and like I hadn't played it on next gen systems yet. The last NHL game I played was like 2010.
Yeah,
And
same.
And then like the
probably.
ones that we played in college together, but I didn't own one. So we go over to play it. He had 19 or 20 or whatever. But when you go to the main menu, there's only 3 options. You have to go to like a second options menu to find the rest of the game. But when you're on the main menu, it just says, it's literally like Ultimate Team, Play Now, and Head-to-Head. Or Ultimate Team, Play Now, and Franchise.
It should say rest of game.
And then if you want to go to the rest of the game, you got to like go and hit them. It's like, why do I have to go
That's
through
fucking stupid.
2 menus to find? Like, I didn't know. When I finally got it, I didn't know you could do like create a player, create a team, because it's hidden away.
It probably does like whatever the last 3 modes you played are on the main screen.
Yeah. And you can pick which ones are on your main screen. With or with NHL you can.
Yeah.
So like when I got it, it was like, oh well, I can edit it and have like franchise, create a skater roster stuff or whatever.
I don't know. There's another game that does that. Maybe I'm thinking of NHL. I don't know.
I wish I played more video games, but my problem is that once I get on one, I obsess over it and like have to like keep playing it until I just run it into the ground. If that makes sense.
It's great.
It's great, but like I got way too much shit I gotta do.
That's the thing is, I
have less shit to do.
Yeah.
I like where you're thinking.
Yeah. I like where your head's at.
I like where your head's at. I like where you're going.
The way it is,
Picking up what
it
you're
is
putting
now
down.
is like if I don't have anything planned, which is maybe once a week or twice a week, I'll get out of work and I'll play. Probably. Like I still probably play about 20 hours a week, but it's not like when I was younger. I would fucking like even like in college, I would crank out like 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
High school like would be the same shit. Like
in between faps,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Priorities. So like I'll buy like 2 games a year, if that I can just obsess over and be done with it, and then just move the fuck on. Because like what?
Go ahead.
Because everything is put on the back burner once I have that game.
Did you already get 2 games this year?
No, I'm my quota is coming up soon.
Yeah,
what do you think it should be?
The Outer Worlds.
What is that?
You ever play Mass Effect?
No.
You ever play Fallout New Vegas?
Yes.
You ever play Borderlands?
Yes.
Okay, so take Fallout New Vegas and Borderlands and mix it up. So it's like Borderlands gameplay, but it's got Fallout New Vegas's like faction and dialogue system.
Okay.
I got wicked obsessed with it. It came out Friday. I beat it last night. But it's a shorter game.
Yeah,
so
I would say get something like Human Fall Flat.
Yeah, Human Fall Flat's a good one too.
Okay.
Like the average
that's
story
short as
mode length for Outer Worlds right now is like 16 hours. So
Gotcha.
you could play through it, and like I did it in fucking 3 days basically.
To give you an idea of like what I'm talking about, the most recent game I bought was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't even buy. Oh, you bought it this year, but it came out last year.
Yeah.
I didn't even play that yet.
I'm not going to probably.
I will when it drops like pretty hard. I'm not gonna pay like $50 for it. It goes on sale, but like they're only taking $10 off of it every time.
But they keep up the price because they have online and they keep up with shit.
Even GTA is still kind of is
That's
expensive.
why exactly.
Well, they know they can get the money for it. You know what's funny is when you see like Pokemon games that are still $30 from like fucking 6 years ago.
When I got my DS, it was literally fucking. It was 2 years ago. I got my 3DS, and Pokemon X had already been like 4 years old.
Yeah,
and it was still full price.
Retail. Yeah,
because I got Pokemon X. I got.
They know.
I got Ultra. No, I got Pokemon X. I got Pokemon Ruby. Alpha Ruby or whatever.
Okay.
Well, they know they can get you to pay that though.
What the fuck was the newest one?
Ultra Sun.
Ultra
Moon,
Sun. And they were all 3 of them were full price. And I was like, well, fuck, I got to get them because that's how they get you.
Exactly. They know you're gonna do it.
The new one, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. I'm not gonna play it for
you
like
don't have a Switch, so you can't do that, right?
Every time I go to say something, he fucking cuts me off.
How are you gonna?
I was gonna say I won't be able to play it for like another year because I need to get a Switch first.
I don't know how you're gonna do that.
The one game I'm eyeballing right now is the new. I don't know what it's called. It's the new Star Wars one. It's coming out.
Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. Yeah, that one looks good. That's like, I loved The Force Unleashed just because of the gameplay. I thought it was really dope.
That game was awesome, actually. I played it like 3 times.
Yeah, well, that was my problem. It was so short of a like storyline.
Yeah.
That you could do that.
The fuck? Just turning off the lights.
And this seems like the closest thing to that.
Yeah.
Since, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely getting that too. I don't know. I just hate paying for games when they're $60. It feels like it's a lot. Especially when games now ask you for extra shit. Like they're like, "Oh, hey, get the season pass."
Right. And like I have some time to kill coming up, like around Christmas time, because I'll be in between semesters. I only get 3 weeks off. That's fucking great. Mm-hmm. And so that'll probably be most of my time now that we're talking about this, because I'm getting excited.
I just I loved The Force Unleashed. Like I like the idea of being able to customize like your lightsabers, and your skins and shit. And then once you beat the game, I got the black lightsabers, and I was like, this is awesome. I'm the shit now.
Yeah.
I had like one black one and one white.
Yep.
It was just badass.
And then like what you could do with the lightsabers themselves.
Yeah.
Like what like extra ability they had or whatever.
And I think if you finish the game like on the dark side, you get like the Sith costume or whatever. And
okay.
There was like the Jedi robes.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of different costumes you could get. And I remember
different characters you can get too, right?
Yeah. I went through a whole walkthrough like trying to unlock all the like skins and saber crystals or whatever.
Yep.
It's cool. I love that kind of customization though. That's why I play Destiny, because the whole game is built around like finding gear.
Yeah.
Like, new shit for your character, like making your character look cool. Mm-hmm. I've always loved customization in games though. I can spend hours in fucking... Especially in wrestling games, like I can spend hours in character creators. Oh,
those are great. What was the one I was thinking of? SmackDown versus Raw. That was good. There was another one. I want to say it was like, was it 2007?
All the SmackDown games in general were good. Like the Here Comes the Pain and like what's the one before it? Know Your Role. Shut Your Mouth.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the other ones were. They did SmackDown versus Raw 2000.
Was it 7?
Yeah, it might have been. I know they did 2 of them, I think. They did at least 2 of them.
I had one on the PSP. I fucking love that thing. That was awesome. Yeah. And like you could change, and they do this with other campaigns now on different sports games, where you can choose like what direction you want to go in. Is your character going to be like a good guy? Is going to be a bad guy? Is he going to say this? Is going to
like
say
an
that?
Alignment, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
So they tried to do that with the newer ones, and like I have 2K like 18 or something, and it's just mostly loading screens. Like the game is just mostly loading screens, so it's wicked frustrating. But they have like this story mode where you create a character, and you do promos. Like they'll send you out to the ring, and then you pick like certain dialogues that you want to go with.
Okay. And
it'll shape the way your character, whether he's a baby face or like a heel or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. They're trying to. I think that's a good way to do it. It's just that they're not polishing that game.
Yeah.
Like the old games did it right. Like when you could choose your alignment and shit, and the gameplay was actually fun.
Right.
Didn't one of them have it so you would pick whether you were a face or a heel, but you couldn't team up with certain people unless you were enough of a face or enough of a heel?
Yeah.
It was one of the ones from... That one was fucking awesome.
Yeah, because like you could... And it was so funny because you could just be a heel wicked fast just by every match, immediately get out of the ring, grab a chair, and hit the guy with it and get disqualified.
Then you would just be the guy that gets DQ'd every fight.
Yeah.
And when I walked out, you were talking about Jedi Fallen Order, and it got me thinking, what's your guys' favorite Star Wars game?
I gotta go with Force
Unleashed, yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Seth,
so.
we need to hang out more often.
We'll just play the Force Unleashed.
Yeah, oh dude, I'm so down. So down.
The fucking, you know what wasn't a bad game was Rogue Squadron. I liked Rogue Squadron a lot.
I don't think I played that.
Those games were fucking sweet.
It was all like dogfights.
It was made by the same people that made Ace Combat.
Okay.
And it was Star Wars.
Have you guys tried playing the new like games that have come out? What are they called? Not Rebels. The new Star Wars games that
Battlefront?
Battlefront.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you. Have you tried playing those?
We remember it was like last year we were hanging out and Battlefront 2 was on sale for $10 and we both bought it. We're sitting here.
Oh, yeah.
We played it for like 30 minutes and we were like, no. And
It's
immediately
literally-
booted up the old ones.
It's basically just battle. It's basically Battlefield, but like skinned as a Star Wars game.
The thing is that fucking gets me about this game is now that we're talking about it, I'm probably gonna go download it and play it
Yeah.
because it
I
isn't
have the second one installed still. Like,
yeah, it isn't that bad. It's just it's not like it's the old ones were so much better.
Yeah.
And I honestly really like the first Star Wars Battlefront, like the very very first one.
The OG.
like more
Yeah.
than the second one.
Yeah.
Because it was Battlefront. I mean, you didn't play as Jedi and Boba Fett and shit. I thought that stuff was annoying.
That's the thing. And that's why I love The Force Unleashed. Like, I love playing a Jedi. I don't know. It's fucking great. It's a great
The
fantasy,
Force
you know?
Unleashed is wicked good. Do you have a computer that you play games on or no?
No, I use PS4.
If you ever get a computer, it doesn't even have to be a strong one. The Jedi Academy games are what you're looking for.
Okay.
You start off as
Those
a
are pretty
Padawan,
cool, yeah.
and like
I think I heard about those.
depending on how you play this campaign goes, you can pick your powers. So every time you play through the game, you can be a different type of Jedi.
Nice.
They're pretty simple games, like graphically too. They're not like demanding.
But the sword fighting the sword fighting, yeah, basically the lightsaber battles.
Well, you can't. I mean, there's blasters, and I think it switches first person or third person. Like you can switch your perspective.
Yeah, you don't even
Okay.
have to be in one of them. You don't have to be a Jedi. You can actually be like a Jango Fett sort of guy,
Okay.
but still be on
Bounty
the
hunter kind of
Rebel
a thing?
Alliance, or you're on the Rebels.
Yeah,
It takes place after Return of the Jedi.
You can sort of
Okay.
do what you want. You also have force powers
So
and shit
that'd be
too.
like going into the Resistance, wouldn't it?
Well, it's before the sequels came out.
It's
So like
the-
they came out in like early 2002. So
It
like
takes place in the Galactic Civil War.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's like after episode 6.
Yeah, is it after episode? I don't remember when in the timeline it is.
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah. It's after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
And Luke turns Yavin 4 into a Jedi Academy.
Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Or it takes place in between. Maybe it's during the Old Republic era, honestly.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No, I'm pretty sure it's not.
The Old Republic games are wicked good. Like, those are probably some of my favorite Star Wars games because they're kind of set up like
I didn't like those just because of
the combat system.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just not my style, though. I don't know.
It's sort of like real-time turn-based.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like Baldur's Gate.
It's all dice rolls, basically.
Yeah, it's the game rules are like D&D. It's like Star Wars D&D.
Interesting. How do you guys feel about the movies?
I don't like the sequels as much as a lot of other people. I don't think they're bad by any means. I just don't enjoy them as much.
I haven't really disliked any of them. Really,
No.
I can't say I've disliked any of. I haven't come out of any of the movies and been like, that fucking sucked, dude.
Yeah. I don't find 7 or 8 as rewatchable as the other ones.
That's
like
fair.
the prequels I like purely for nostalgic reasons.
Yeah, same.
And the third one is actually really good. Revenge of the Sith is actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
But the original trilogy, I mean, I could watch the very first Star Wars every day and not
I felt like Revenge of the Sith was really strong. Like, actually, really strong.
really, really
I think
good.
it's overlooked a lot because it's a prequel.
Yeah.
So it gets lumped in with the episode 1 and 2.
Yeah.
2 was just bad, but I the Phantom Menace I like just because of the soundtrack.
Or what's his face there?
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar.
Yeah, he's the best character, I thought. Because he felt like completely out of, like he felt like they just threw him in there, like just cut from another show or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
like he was thrown in from a cartoon or some shit.
Like another show's
He
abortion.
yeah, like he didn't belong there at all in any aspect.
How would you suggest someone to watch them? Like, what order would you tell them?
Chronological.
Okay.
Yeah, I always
Always.
just go chronological because then
There-
once you get past the first 2, you're like, okay, here we go.
The like if it's somebody that's never seen them ever.
Chronological. Okay, so when you say chronological, do you mean the way they came out to us,
Yeah.
or the way they are in the timeline?
The way that they existed in our reality.
Okay.
So you start with episode. You go 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
7, 8. Maybe watch Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was pretty awesome.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was dope.
Yeah.
Solo.
Solo is decent. But definitely don't watch Rogue One or Solo until after you've seen the original trilogy, because then there's no fucking... It doesn't make sense.
There's no context.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also watch the original Star Wars Clone Wars animated series.
I need to get on that. That and Star Wars Rebels.
The very original Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cartoon one.
Yep.
The animated one?
Yeah.
The first one that came out. Mm-hmm. Watch that one.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, cleared that up pretty good.
I mean, the other Clone Wars is pretty decent. Like the one that's the weird 3D animation. That one's decent too. But the first one that's hand drawn.
Yeah.
The cartoon,
Okay.
Clone Wars.
Gotcha.
Watch that one. It's pretty good.
All right.
But no, I don't know what my favorite Star Wars game is. Honestly, the first Lego Star Wars was like my favorite game as a kid.
Those were the shit.
Yeah, I feel like those are good games.
Those games are like people know what Legos are, but I never think of the games, and the games are all pretty fucking good. Like all of them are pretty good.
That's
really
like
simple.
all the Lego games. Those are like my guilty pleasure. I fucking
Don't ever feel guilty about
okay.
that.
All right.
Unless you're playing the Jurassic Park ones.
That's the thing, though, is people do because they're Lego games and they're certainly marketed towards kids, right?
Yeah, but they're good. Yeah.
But they're well
so
done
good.
games.
Like every time my nephew comes into town, I have an excuse to play him.
Yeah.
So much fun. And like the Marvel games, like you get to be all those characters. That's awesome. They haven't had anything like that or close to that until recently with the Spider-Man game and that Avengers game that just came out. Have you guys tried that out yet?
I didn't try that, no. I haven't even played Spider-Man, the PlayStation one.
I loved it.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty good.
Did you ever play X-Men Legends?
No.
That game was sweet.
That game was cool. It was an X-Men game that was like the Avengers game that just came out.
Okay.
Which I think it's the same company.
It's top down. It was all top down.
Yeah, it's a top-down like beat 'em up, but when you do quests and stuff, you can unlock other characters.
Yeah.
And like you can, it's in the second X-Men Legends game, which is the better one. You can fucking have you can have the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and X-Men combined.
Okay.
So you could have like Juggernaut with fucking Wolverine, and each character could combine and do what
different
was the
like
other one?
combos
They had
and stuff.
fucking Marvel Ultimate Alliance was the other one
Yeah.
that did that.
Forgot
Okay.
about that game. That existed.
They're a very weird niche game.
Yeah.
So I don't think the new Avengers game is going to do well. I think it looks good. I don't think it's going to do well commercially because those games are unless you get a lot of casual fans to buy them just based on the Marvel name, which they probably could do.
Did you watch the demo of it?
I think I saw the announcement gameplay thing.
Okay.
I didn't even know. Was it already out? I didn't even know.
I think it's already out. That was one of the problems that was poorly marketed.
Yeah.
But they have like a 20-ish minute demo, I want to say. Maybe a little shorter. I could be pulling that out of my ass. But they have like a demo trailer for it. And it looks pretty badass. And you go through and play as like 4 or 5 different characters like in the first however many minutes. Like you're the Hulk and then like you switch over to Iron Man. Then you're Thor for a hot second. Captain America. I think you're the Black Widow at some point.
So
Yeah, this is
it's like a beat 'em up.
Watch this shit.
So it switches characters throughout the story, or is it
Yeah, and then you get your own customizable character. That is like, I think you're like a soldier for, I want to say Shield. I could be pulling that out of my ass as well, but like it's a customizable character that you can play with the Avengers.
that's cool. See, I'm always
How many characters are there going to be though? Are you only playing as the original Avengers? Or is
I
it's
don't
definitely
know
not
that much.
everybody, right? Because
No,
well, you gotta avenge somehow, you know.
it's basically like this trailer shows pretty much everyone in like the first Avengers movie with the exception of Hawkeye, I think.
Well, if this is a not scripted gameplay, it looks pretty decent. I'm always skeptical of games that are based off of
superheroes.
Any movie,
sort of-
really.
Yeah,
Do
any
the same.
movie.
Superhero games are the fucking. They're either really really good or they're so bad.
Yeah,
Like,
because you get things that stick out, like the Batman series, like the Arkham series.
yeah.
And then you get shit that's really never... Like, I remember there was a Spider-Man game for, like, Super... It was, like... It might have been Super Nintendo or some shit. And I was like, this is an
Was it
impossible
the
game
3D
to beat.
one?
No.
Was it the one where like you can't go any like lower than like
Yeah.
like the buildings
where
and
there
shit?
was the fog.
Yeah,
The poisonous fog.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was just after the
PS1.
first. Yeah,
That
it
was PlayStation 1.
that was just after the first movie came out. I think
That one was
right?
sick.
No, it was before it.
I actually didn't mind that.
But then they did make the movie tie-in, which had the same concept, where it had the poisonous fog.
Okay.
But then there were two for the PS1 that were like that. It was Spider-Man and then Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro.
I remember in the PS1 game, I was like, there was a secret, like, there was a crane in, like, one of the areas that you could go to.
Yeah.
And it had, like, all the Green Goblin's shit in it. And you could, like, pick up some fucking Easter egg from that shit.
Yeah. I was going to say a really bad fucking superhero movie was the Wolverine movie for or the Wolverine game for PS2.
That was dog shit.
Wolverine's Revenge.
I was just about to bring that up. You're talking about bad Marvel. Oh,
Anything
wow.
that has
bad.
the
It
word
starts off with him
revenge.
in like the winter or some shit like that in the snow.
The lab.
Or some
He's in the
sh- yeah,
fucking
yeah,
lab and
yeah.
you escape. Oh, it's so bad.
I feel like that like revenge basically makes it a bad game. Like if you
Well,
call it revenge,
the thing
like,
is
the subtitle.
for whatever reason they called it X2 Wolverine's Revenge because X-Men X2, what is it? X2 the X-Men United.
X-Men United was the
second one.
The second one.
So
Yeah.
X-Men United came out, and then they had Hugh Jackman as Wolverine on the cover, but he didn't voice Wolverine. It was fucking Mark Hamill, and they didn't have any
No
other actual
shit.
characters from the movie.
At least it was Mark Hamill,
It was
though.
marketed as a movie tie-in game, and it was completely irrelevant to the actual movie.
That's funny.
You know what movie-based video game was actually really good?
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Shrek 2. Do you ever play that?
I feel like I've never played that.
Don't ever fucking look at me. I really thought you were gonna say X-Men Origins Wolverine. The game was better than the Origins Wolverine movie.
Power Rangers the movie.
Power Rangers the movie.
For the original for Super Nintendo.
Was it?
That was awesome.
That one was sick.
It was a
because I had that one
side-scroller.
on Game Boy Color, and
The
that
game
game
was
was fucking
filthy as hell.
sick.
I vaguely remember that.
It's too good though, because you fight Ivan Ooze at the end. And
I had a
you
really
always
cool
lose.
Godzilla game for the Game Boy. It was a Godzilla fucking bullet hell game where you're Godzilla and you have to shoot things. But you can't move. You're just shooting things as Godzilla.
That's
And then-
realistic.
Okay.
Godzilla had wicked good games too. They had Godzilla Save the Earth, which I know I've talked about before.
Yeah, they had Jaws.
Yeah, you ever played
Jaws.
Jaws Unleashed?
No.
What? Dude, it's literally a
No
video
one's
game.
ever. You're the only person that's ever played that game.
No, I'm not. I know I'm not.
I think.
I know I'm not the only person that played Jaws Unleashed. Zamaya's played it. I guarantee. I'm going to text him right
there's
now.
two people that have ever.
And I
played
know
Jaws
Dan's
Unleashed.
played. There's at least 3 of us.
So, what are you doing musically right now?
I'm just playing out at different bars and restaurants. I was telling Seth before we started, getting my master's in music production through Berkeley.
Very nice.
So thanks. That's been taking up a lot of my daytime while gigging out at night. I just released an EP that's on Spotify and iTunes and all that shit.
I have it.
Yeah?
Yep, I like it.
The new one?
The new. Is it there a new one?
There's a new one that came out in August. Are you thinking of the one that's like in black and white?
I'm thinking of the one that I have on my phone.
Touche.
So no, I have it on the other side. So
Yeah. The new
Up
one's
above
called...
and down
Yep.
below.
Up above and down below.
Well, I'll check.
Is this all
that
original
out.
music?
All original music.
So what are you gonna do?
Just...
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I did it. There's nothing going to do anything. I fucking did it. No,
Congrats.
thanks. Yeah, it's funny. Like, on the other side was my senior capstone for SUNY Oswego, and I did it in like 2 months, and this one took me over a year,
Really?
ironically, and it's only half as many songs as on the other side. So it's kind of funny how that worked out. But yeah, I dug it. I'm probably not going to release anything anytime soon, just because I'm so occupied with all this other shit.
Of course.
Yeah. And like I haven't really been inspired, which is sad, like to write any more shit, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. There's definitely
Like,
writer's block is a real thing.
Yeah.
You need to keep the ambition alive with something.
Well, it's a matter of, honestly, like for me, it was all it would take was going to a concert.
Yeah.
That shit would immediately revitalize like my ambition to like write things, and it would immediately like things would be firing off while I'm listening to them. Like a band I've never heard, go see that, like, and I'm picking up on things. Like I'm like, oh shit, like, oh, what if I did something like that and then did this with it or whatever. Like you pick up those influences, and it's unavoidable. But like I that's the best way for me. That it always was, at least the best way to fucking get my motivation back.
That would inspire me to a certain degree.
Yeah.
When I went to a concert or something, it would pull out like a new chord progression or something like that. But
It makes me at least want to play.
Yeah, that alone is awesome.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I would like almost expect myself to get a full blown song out of it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
But for now, it's just something that I have on the back burner.
Well, what's your writing process like, though? Are you picking up a progression first, like, or are you writing lyrics first, or what's the
Lyrics are always dead last for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I'm just not clever with them. I don't think I'm not a poet by any means. I barely fucking read any books when I was younger, and so that's because of that. It's coming back to haunt me.
Lyrics are hard because you're always really way over analytical about when you write them,
Right. And like,
and you're like, oh, I need to write this to fit this fucking chord progression, or like this amount of syllables. Mm-hmm. Like you're writing it to a very specific thing.
yeah, right. It has like very tight boundaries.
Yeah.
And especially if you have any sort of music history background, it's even more constricted, because it's like, oh, you have to stick with this melody, you have to stick with these chords within that key.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't really think outside the box. So that's why I admire people who write songs, which from a theory standpoint, they sometimes make sense, but not always. But it's super fucking creative. And because they don't have that, oh no, you can't do that for this reason, circle of fifths, whatever bullshit.
Yeah.
I really envy that.
See, that's why I find that a lot of people who haven't gone to school for like music theory or anything like that, they come up with things a lot more creative than people who have been taught the structure of music. You see what I mean? Like it's a very you're more free because you're not locked into these specific like chord progressions or this works this way and this has to be like this. You just, I like when people just are self-taught. They pick up a guitar and then they're like, oh, this kind of sounds cool. Maybe it will work with this or whatever,
Yeah, I produced someone for one of my school projects, a singer-songwriter who I'm actually going to be performing with in February. She kind of was like that way. She'd never taken a lesson in her life. She was just like, oh, this kind of sounds cool. I was like, oh, you're playing this chord.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like me personally, it starts out with like a chord progression or maybe a little like melody I hear in my head.
Yeah.
And then I'll kind of branch off of that, either just playing it or just repeating it or putting it on a looper and see what I can layer on top of that.
Yeah.
And then I'll just start kind of bullshitting a melody and then just throwing words on top of it. And just whatever just kind of rolls off the tongue at that point.
Yeah. So you're building like a framework, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then you get on that scaffolding and then start putting the rest of it together.
Yeah. Exactly. And like, and my other problem, I think, is like with the writer's block is that I haven't really like I haven't done anything recently to inspire me to write a song. Like, I think the last concert I went to besides Smash Mouth at Harborfest was back in July.
I saw you. We watched it together.
Yeah, we did. I bumped into you.
I got cut out from Seth and everybody else. I was there with Bill. I was like, this is happening.
So yeah, like I've seen way more stand-up comedy shows recently than I have.
It's from listening to podcasts.
Well, from listening
directly. That's definitely the cause of it.
Welcome to the club.
Well, I've always been a big fan of stand-up even before the podcast, and like
That's what they all say.
no, seriously, that's how me and my dad bonded growing up.
Yeah.
And like I'm like we talked about, I'm not big into sports and all that stuff, and so that was like the one thing we always had in common. He took me, you guys know Andrew Dice Clay?
Of course.
I saw him when I was 15 years old in Vegas.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So shit like that. So I've probably seen way more fucking comedy shows. I have a list of all the people I've seen than I have actual music concerts.
Yeah.
I would say I'm probably up there too. I saw more concerts when I was younger, but now I would rather go to a comedy show.
Yeah.
I feel like
I guess.
I would agree with that 100%.
I burn myself out with concerts.
To me, it depends on who it is.
I do like one big concert every couple years. Like last year, I went and saw Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay,
and
nice.
Royal Blood. That was sweet. Before that, I saw...
It's weird that they're still alive, dude. The Queens of the Stone Age.
Right.
That was a long time
Before
ago.
Queens of the Stone Age, I saw the Chili Peppers.
No shit.
And every year we go and see Brit Floyd, too.
Okay.
That's like the only concert I go to every
What
year.
about Garth Brooks? Have you seen Garth Brooks?
But
That'd be a good fucking show.
there was a solid like year and a half where we were going, we saw...
Garth Brooks.
No, we saw... in the span of like 2 months, we saw Callan and Brendan Schaub. And we saw
Bill Burr.
last year.
Oh man, I wanted to see him.
I saw fucking Wes and Brian took me to see Doug Stanhope for my 21st.
Yeah.
Really?
That was the best fucking concert, or the best show I've ever seen. Because he doesn't do material. He just talks
and rants.
and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what it is. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
I saw Ari Shaffir.
I'd like to see David Tell.
When did you see Ari Shaffir?
I don't even remember.
He was
Fuck.
in
Saw
Syracuse.
him with my
Yeah,
friend.
he was in with the
Yeah,
Funny Bone, I
It
thought.
was a while ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like 2.5 years ago.
No shit.
Yeah, because in that like span, I did Doug Stanhope. We had Stanhope, Brendan Schaub, Brian Callan, Ari Shaffir,
Queens of the Stone Age.
Queens of the Stone Age, and then Bill Burr. Like I saw all 5 of those within about a year or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just this year, I think I've seen, let's see, D.L. Hughley, Tracy Morgan.
Damn.
He was kind of disappointing. Both of those were. Jessica Curson. She just came out with a podcast. Let's see.
He keeps saying that word. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
What, the one with the starts with a P?
Yeah.
P?
Podcast.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You have to look it up.
Google it.
Carlos Mencia.
How was that?
Oh my God.
It was wild. Okay, so he had this one opener who was really fucking funny. He was, I guess, the featured act. And he got on this one girl's case about... She was bitching, like, she was off to the side. She was bitching about how she ordered a burger. They ran out of burgers, so she ended up getting a quesadilla. And she was, like, out loud, like, verbally, like, bitching about that. And he was like, can someone shut this cunt up or something like that? And the place went off the fucking wall. And and Carlos gets up there, he goes, dude, I don't know what just happened. He goes, I hear him doing his bit, and then I hear, shut the fuck up, cunt. Something about a quesadilla. And so he performed for at least 2.5 hours. Mencia at the Funny Bone on
How does he have that much material?
a fucking Wednesday night. I don't know, because he steals it? No. But
Probably.
it all sounded original except for one little thing. I've heard it like worded differently.
It was the whole middle section.
It was from his very beginning to I think the very end. No. And he the featured act and the opener. I don't know if he was like part of the Funny Bone because they'll hire local people to open. And they got on stage and they were just kind of riffing for about 15, 20 minutes. A lot about this girl. And it was really funny. But a Wednesday night, it was the day before my birthday because that was like what I wanted to do. And from like 7:30 to about 10:45 we were there.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's long as shit.
And I've seen Carlos Mencia perform before. He's really funny. I dig him with all that bullshit aside. And I fucking loved his show on Comedy Central.
I haven't heard really much of anything from him. Last time I saw him was on Joey Diaz's podcast like a year or two ago.
I watched that.
Wasn't he exclusively doing shows in Vegas?
Maybe.
He was like exclusively doing shows somewhere.
Like a residency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the move, you know.
Yeah. If you could revive any dead comedian for one special that you could watch live.
I just want to get in the mind of a Carlos Mencia.
Yeah. That'd be the move.
DTD. Is that what he says?
Oh my god, he's fucking trash. Fuck, he's garbage.
Well, at least he doesn't say get her done, you know?
That's true.
Because then he'd really be stealing.
I have seen him.
You've seen Larry?
I have seen Larry.
You've seen Jeff Dunham?
I have seen Jeff Dunham.
Yeah. Have you seen
I have the whole fucking list
Sebastian
right here.
Maniscalco?
I have not, and nor will I.
Have you seen Norm Macdonald?
No, I
kind
of want to see him.
Have you seen Bill Hader?
He does stand up?
Have you seen Hannibal Buress? Is what I meant to say.
Ooh,
That'd be a good one.
I get Hannibal Buress and Bill Hader.
That's an interesting combo to.
I do want to
Every
see.
time I say Hannibal, I think Bill.
Yeah,
Hannibal.
Yeah,
Hannibal Hader.
I do want to see
Hannibal Hader.
Chris D'Elia.
I'm not a fan of his. I
just want to see his.
I don't know
what his stand up is like now, because I haven't seen it since
stand up.
His last special, which was forever ago, it felt like.
Man on Fire?
Incorrigible or something, I think, was his latest one.
That was Man on Fire.
Or was it Man
one
on
of the
Fire?
ones he did was fucking awful. Like, one of the ones he did was really, really bad.
Okay, so it's not just me.
But, like, I like his stand-up, but one of his specials, I don't remember what it was god-awful.
I think he's very good in podcast form.
He's
Same
like-
as Joey Diaz.
He's
So
like
it's like
a... Go ahead.
it's like the same situation where Diaz is really good on podcasts, and I don't like his stand-up as much.
But I hear other comedians like Bert Kreischer talk about Chris D'Elia and how much he kills it. Like
that's why I really want to see like what he has now, like what his material looks like now.
his most recent thing was probably that Comedians of the World, or whatever the fuck it is. That's
That
probably
wasn't too bad. That was better than his last special, I thought. So you can only get. I guess like the idea is that you're gonna get better. You know, that's obviously what he's trying to do. But
Yeah.
Callan has gotten a lot better too. I felt like,
I haven't seen any of his stuff.
and even Rogan, you can see the difference between like what he did, like with Shiny Happy Jihad or whatever, when he put that album out, and to like now, his stuff is a lot better. I thought Triggered was really good. I thought.
Yeah, Strange Times was really good too. That was one that came after Triggered.
I personally think right now Tom Segura is the biggest name in comedy. As far as stand-up comedy goes, I feel like he's the funniest out there.
I still think Bill Burr is probably, as far as popularity, I think Burr's probably more popular than Segura is.
If we're gonna go by popularity, there's a lot of other ones that are
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Sebastian
So, like, unless-
Maniscalco would be like
Sebastian, Gabriel Iglesias, Kevin Hart, Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get huge fucking crowds.
Larry the Cable Guy, Jeff Foxworthy, Ron White, the whole.
I think
collar.
Ron White might be one of the
Ron
funniest
White
people
is
of all
really
time.
good. Yeah,
He's really good. I saw him live in Elmira, of all places.
that's weird.
Very strange.
That is very strange. Well, his opener, my dad is a big fan of. So we drove fucking 2 hours to go see this opener perform for like 15 minutes. He's probably been doing the same material since the 80s.
Who was it?
Rocky Laporte. He was on Last Comic Standing, and it was the same year. You know Joe Mackey.
Yeah, I think so.
He has a podcast with Sam Morril. It's called Keeping Joe.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
And yeah, so my dad was a big fan of, and we saw Rocky perform at the Funny Bone, and a couple years before that, so we're like, fuck it, we'll check out Ron White. He was great.
I still think Will Sasso is the most underrated comedian.
I've never seen any of his stand-up.
I don't think he does much of it. I
He's,
think he mostly does. He's like a comedic actor.
yeah,
you know?
I've seen him in other shit. Like,
He was big for Mad TV, obviously, but 10-minute podcast, really.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see Bill Hicks before he died.
that would be a good one. I was thinking Sam Kinison.
Sam Kinnison's another.
Kinnison was
Yeah.
interesting. I don't know. I wasn't huge on Kinnison, but I saw like what he was doing and the way he was like changing things. You know?
I think
Yeah.
Kinnison's the best thing about him is that he's very relatable. He has a very general scope,
sure.
so
yeah.
that way he can really. He makes things that it's almost like he was a comedian. He pushed the boundaries, but not crazy enough, but just enough to move the needle. I mean, you had Richard Pryor and George Carlin back then,
Yeah.
and then you were going into where Bill Hicks was getting
I
really,
would
really
certainly
big too.
want to see either of those guys. Mitch Hedberg too, probably.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
or Patrice O'Neill.
Patrice would be another huge one. The problem I have with Mitch, and it's not like a negative thing, it's just I wish he recorded more.
Yeah,
I also wish he didn't die, but I wish he recorded.
I feel
more.
like if he didn't die, he probably could have.
Well, he had like
more, you know?
his last 2 albums. He had like a 5-year gap where he was just not recording any specials or anything.
Yeah.
He
well,
was
he had-
touring and doing heroin.
Yeah, he had problems.
and he had horrible anxiety.
Yeah,
with like horrible stage fright and shit.
Yeah.
That's why he closed his eyes every time he performed.
yeah. Carlin's a big one.
Carlin, the thing that I
There you go. I
appreciate.
know what he's gonna say.
What am I gonna say?
You're gonna be like, the thing I appreciate about George Carlin is that he got a lot of people thinking. He was a philosopher, not a comedian.
Well,
no.
He wasn't exactly ha-ha funny, but he was still entertaining.
Yes,
No,
to
that's
me,
not where
he
I was going at
wasn't,
all.
I thought that's what.
Well, to me, I felt like he didn't laugh. He didn't make me laugh as much as he did make me think, for real. Like I did think he presented things in a way where it was more philosophical than anything. Although he was pretty funny at the same time.
I wasn't. I was talking to him. I didn't.
Oh,
know what he was
okay.
saying.
My bad.
But yeah, that's basically.
I saw his eyebrows go up when we started talking about Carlin. I'm like, I know what he's gonna fucking say.
No, so the thing, like, that theoretical question, and you can relate that to like so many other people in other industries, is that Carlin, he lived his full life. He was doing specials up until he died, well, however the fuck old he was back in 2008.
He's like 78 or some
Yeah.
shit.
So like he had that chance to live his full life. But like, and you could say that about some other comedians like Kinnison. I think once he died, he was kind of past his prime, because at that point he was getting clean and it was a lot more political. And that was the other thing I was going to comment. I want to see Sam Kinison in his fucking prime. I want to see him all coked out, having the fucking oxygen tank in the back.
Like,
I want to see that Sam. I don't want to see political Sam.
I would like to see the Kinnison that performs at Dangerfields.
Yes.
Yeah, to me, like the prime for a comedian is not when they're on top; it's when they're reaching the top, like they're on their way.
They're
to the
hungry.
top. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the crazy thing with George Carlin, is that he's almost a mythical figure for comedy, because all of his specials, just each one topped the other one, to the point where it's hard to listen to his old stuff, because I mean, I honestly think like each one got better and better up until like You Are All Diseased, when he does the whole thing about, or no, he does the bit about people that ought to be killed. And it's like half of his whole special is he bitches about people that he thinks should be wiped off the face of the earth.
One of my favorite.
And then he does the 10 Commandments bit at the end.
Oh, that's fucking.
That's
genius.
the most golden fucking, that bit is gold.
One of my favorite bits of his, and he recycled it in maybe one or two other specials that he had, was, don't you love it when, or don't you think it's funny how people who are against abortion are people you don't want to fuck in the first place?
I love the one. That's what I liked about Bill Hicks. He was exclusively political and social.
Yeah.
But he also flamed both sides Like he torched them each
Right.
special.
Yeah.
He would he would make fun of one side, make fun of the other side, and then make fun of the situation.
Right.
And I loved when he did the thing about abortion, where he just in the middle of one of his specials, he's like, "How about we light things up and talk about abortion?" And he goes, "It's crazy. I live in a house with 5 other people, and half of the people think these pro-life people are annoying idiots, and the other half think that they're evil fucks." I tell him, everybody, let's just agree to disagree, and call them evil, annoying idiot fucks. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's a good one.
it is.
I like that one. I like that bit a lot. I like Bill Hicks a lot. He's one of the comedians that he didn't live his full life, but he did live his whole career.
Well, he's still alive, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Because he retired. He retired like 7 years before he died.
Bill Hicks did?
Bill Hicks did.
I did not know that.
Well,
really?
it's because he became Alex Jones. He was turning into him.
Yeah, and I don't know if he knew he was getting sick, and that's why he retired. Mm-hmm. But Rant in E Minor was his last special he recorded.
Okay.
And then they released more. It was mostly greatest hits compilations, and then like unreleased recordings. Bill Hicks is he's really funny if you can get past that fact that he's literally just a political comedian.
Yeah.
He's like a better version of Bill Maher.
I love his take on.
Gotta crack my knee. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. They're trying to play footsie with me. My favorite bit of his is his take on the miracle of childbirth,
Yeah.
where he was like, something that occurs more than at the time 6 billion and counting. That's not a miracle.
Yeah. That's
So
funny
that's
'cause
like, yeah, exactly.
it's simple, but it's just an observational thing. Like,
Another, you know what I completely forgot about was Greg Giraldo. I would have loved to see.
Oh,
live.
yes.
I just recently re-listened to his 2 specials.
Oh my gosh.
But my favorite joke of his is when he goes, the story of Christianity isn't really like that. The reason Christianity exists is really just because a woman lied and really, really stuck to her story. Like Christians are just believing a woman that lied really, really well.
Yeah. There's a meme out there that says something like that. It's
Yeah.
like Christianity, an affair that like went way too far,
Yeah.
or something like that.
I'd really like to see Dave Attell. I feel like he'd be really good.
Yeah.
He's not dead.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying he's dead.
I want to see that bumping mics
Yeah,
situation.
that
Looks
Did
fucking.
you watch that?
It is-
Obviously,
yes,
right?
yeah.
It was so
it
fucking
was
good.
so good. I want to see Bobby Lee too. Bobby Lee should do a stand-up special, but everybody keeps saying that, and he's never going to do it. He's too scared. But I think
I
he's.
wouldn't watch Bobby Lee.
I think he's funny as shit on podcasts, though. Like, he's another one.
I have to watch more of it. More of him on podcasts.
Yeah, watch him like on any Fighter and the Kid episode, basically, or like even just his podcast. It's pretty good.
Okay.
He's just goofy. Like he's just a goofy looking dude, and
Tiger Belly, is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty funny.
What else have I seen? I saw Artie Lang a couple years ago.
What about Cannibal Corpse?
I see Cannibal Corpse.
I have not seen Cannibal Corpse.
You saw Artie Lang. How was that? That's interesting.
It was good. Jesus, I don't know how long ago this was. Within the past 10 years I've seen him. And I don't remember all the bits. It was solid. He had this whole bit on Viagra that I can think of off the top of my head that was pretty good.
It's always about Viagra
Every time.
Yeah.
Who else?
You gotta mix a Viagra joke in.
I saw Rob Schneider
Oh, that's
at the Funny Bone.
That's strange.
Severely disappointing.
Yeah.
He's not a stand-up.
Who'd you see after that? Carrot Top?
I might as well have.
6'9".
Fucking Gallagher.
Did you see Jeff Dunham ever?
I have seen Jeff Dunham.
I've heard he's really, really good.
It's really good, and like this is gonna sound really cliche and moronic, but bear with me. Those fucking things look alive as all hell.
No,
in person.
I honestly love Jeff Dunham. I think he's fucking great.
And like
I really do. Like,
even the newer stuff like he's come out with.
It's really good.
I haven't seen the most recent one, but
It's really good.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah. It's the one where he tours. Is it the one where he tours? The whole special is like 20-minute bits in different countries, right?
Okay.
Have you seen that one?
No, I might have.
And then I'm pretty sure he does one where he performs in Ireland. But the one...
I've seen the one in Ireland.
The special he does where he performs in a bunch of different countries are hilarious because he talks about how they weren't allowed to have Ahmed. So
no shit.
He keeps Ahmed's face and the fact that he's a skeleton, but he makes him French instead. And completely, like, somehow still makes it work, even though... I don't know. I thought that was genius. I watched that... I went through a phase of a while ago, like a solid weekend that I had off where I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch a bunch of old comedians that I liked when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That I kind of grew out of. Like Jim Gaffigan or...
Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah. I watched the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, but I'm trying to think of the other guy that was always on.
Bill Engvall?
No,
Amazing
it was...
Jonathan.
oh my God. Brian
Loved him.
Regan.
Yeah,
I watched a couple of Daniel Tosh's stand-ups, like their older ones. Dane Cook, I watched a couple. It was nice to revisit that landscape of comedy where it was just like
nostalgic wise.
Yeah, it was just very strange. The people that were famous in the mid to late 2000s off of Comedy Central specials, like you don't hear of at all anymore. Like
I would like to go back and like watch like old episodes of Premium Blend and like see who was on it and be like, oh shit, I know that guy. He's like actually pretty good now. Like, or who the fuck is that guy?
Do you know who I'm really glad to see before he passed, and which is why?
Wait, can we guess?
You can guess, but and this is the reason why I'm so gung ho and like trigger happy about seeing comedians, because you fucking never know when these people are gone. You can apply that to musicians, like if they're gonna be in your town, fucking go see them.
Charlie Murphy.
Nope.
Is he still alive?
No, he's dead.
Oh, he's dead now.
He's dead now, which makes me more.
Was it Ralphie May?
It was Ralphie May.
Bill Cosby.
He's not dead, but he's dead to everyone.
He's basically dead.
He might as well be dead.
Ralphie May was another one that was like really, really, really fucking big.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Like,
well, he was definitely
also
bad.
really big.
he was also very famous.
But I saw him at the Turning Stone. I want to say April of 2016, so about a year and a half before he died. And this was one of the most enjoyable shows. He didn't have an opener, performed for like an hour and a half, and even at like the hour and a half mark, he was like, what time is it? He goes, am I over? He goes, fuck, I'm gonna keep going. And like the crowd got laughing. He was one of those people who genuinely loved comedy, and it showed in his performance and everything he did. And I'll fucking listen to him on the Church of What's Happening Now several times, no matter what episode. Yeah. Just him and Joey like riffing off of each other and talking about like their good old days or whatever. It's a fucking gem. And I'm really glad I saw him.
It's very funny when you listen to certain episodes because like the Joey Jingles episode and then other stuff that Stanhope talks about. Mm-hmm. They used to, because they all toured all the time, and they would run into each other or perform together. But like the late 90s and early 2000s, it was like Joey Diaz, Stanhope, Ralphie May, and like 4 other comedians like shared a house.
Yeah.
It was Stanhope owned a house somewhere. Him and his current agent, they owned it, and they rented it out to other comedians. I want to say it was in New York City.
Okay.
So it was like a studio apartment.
No, it was like
They were jerking
it was
off in the
it was
corners.
probably outside of New York City, but that's where the change jar was. But it was an open door policy, so like people. Actually, somebody still lives there. I don't know who it is, but
like a Motley Crue scenario.
there's a comedian that bought the house from Doug Stanhope. That's like a big New York City comic.
I feel like that'd be like an Ari move.
Yeah,
but I don't think it is.
Who's Duncan Trussell lived there for a while. Actually,
Okay.
I think Duncan is the one that lives there.
Oh
Probably.
no shit.
I think it's Duncan is the one that lives there now. It's somebody, obviously, but I would really. Oh, go ahead.
I know Josh Wolf is another person in that crew.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
What's really funny is that Doug Stanhope and Johnny Depp are best friends.
I hear that a lot between Bert's podcast and Joe's podcast.
Yeah.
I've never seen him hang out though. You know, have you
Right.
ever seen him? I've never seen him
Doug's-
walking down the street or whatever.
Yeah, no. What's You know who I'd love to see? I'd love to see live is Josh Potter.
I would too, honestly.
I would really like to see Josh
Which is
Potter.
like, I just bought tickets to go see Tom Segura. And I'm really curious to see, because since Josh is from Buffalo, I don't know if he'll bring him to Syracuse. I'm hoping it's either him or Ryan
Why
Sickler.
don't you check? Does Potter have a website? He's got to, right? He would
I
have
think he
his
has
tour
to.
dates.
Let's
on
check it
his.
out. Jamie, pull that up.
And if Potter's not doing anything on that day, you might see him. Or if he might just have it listed and fucking open for Tom. Because if anything, I would imagine he would just list it on his website.
Zamaya said he has played Jaws Unleashed, so that's 2 people.
He fucking but you.
He said, dude, we talked about it on one of your episodes together. I'm like, I knew it.
Yeah, but he didn't say he actually played it. It's all a fucking facade. He works for the Jaws company. What do you think you're doing? Did you type it in?
Yeah, I typed in Josh Potter
Tour. 2000.
Can't come. He should make that a tour if he gets big.
Yeah. Make Josh come tour.
You make Josh come tour. Have you heard Joey Diaz's current tour?
No.
56 and still slinging dick tour?
Is that what it's called? That's fucking hilarious.
He is not performing again until
What's the date of the show?
November 10th.
November 10th. He's performing in Buffalo.
If there's nothing on November 10th on his website, it's a possibility. I would imagine. I mean, he has to produce that podcast, so like.
No, he's performing in Buffalo on the 10th. So he's probably coming with Tom and then performing in Buffalo instead of Syracuse.
That makes sense.
And then he's in Baltimore the 23rd.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, the Segura tickets are like 70 something bucks, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Really? They were 50 last I checked.
No, I looked like 2 days ago, and they were 75.
Yeah, I think that's roughly. I got mine off of StubHub because there's a section of the Landmark that my fat ass fits in like a fucking glove, where all the other seats in there fits like an OJ glove. And it's super tight and uncomfortable. I saw Les Mis when they came into town back in March, and my fucking knees were like right into the other seat. They hurt for like a month after. These seats, I went, it was just whatever I got for Burt Kreischer, and they were pristine. So I found fucking tickets for those for Tom Segura. I was like, yep, I don't give a fuck if I have to
put
pay
that
some
in
sort
the
of fee.
suggestion box. Be like, for sure, get bigger seats, right?
Fat fuck friendly.
Yeah.
That's triple F, fat fuck friendly. Oh, that'd be great. Love it. I saw Brad Williams a couple years back.
Did you
That
have
would
to
be
squint?
interesting. Squint.
That's terrible.
Squint.
I went with a
Wait,
friend.
is he over there? I can't see him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He looks so far away.
I went
Where is he?
I went with a friend of mine, and she was like, I can't wait to see the midget. I was like,
Oh, he's a dwarf.
I was like, he has a name, you know? She goes, I don't know. She goes, what else am I supposed to call him? I was like, I don't know. I want to see Brad. I can't wait to see the comedian. I can't wait to see the human being. I can't wait to see the dwarf. There's a lot of fucking options.
I mean,
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
still call him a midget, though. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
It's more or less the same thing.
Yeah, we know who you knew who she was talking about. So,
have you
like-
seen Have you seen John Mulaney's bit?
No, if they're I have.
Okay.
Midgets and the N word.
Yes,
you
yeah.
Could, you could say the word midget, but you can't say the N word.
Yeah.
Because we are saying the word midget.
Yeah.
We aren't even saying what the N word is. If you're comparing the badness of two words and you won't even say one of them, that's the worst word.
It's not the M word. No one
I like
says
John Mulaney a lot.
That was dead on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But you could say midget. I mean, we've said the N word on the show
9/11.
before.
that. Never forget.
Never forget.
Final
I
Destination.
thought they were gonna say Make a Wish. I was like, Jesus.
Can you do that on 9/11s?
Somebody did.
Someone did.
Yeah.
Have you seen Pete Davidson's special?
No.
Is it titled "Pay Attention to Me Because My Dad Died in 9/11 and I'm going to make fun of it"?
No, that's the-
fucking special.
No, it's called SMD.
Wait.
And
his dad died? No,
His
Yeah.
dad died in 9/11.
I thought you were talking about.
SMD stands for "suck my dad."
no,
We're talking about the other guy that faked like being an
Steve Renazizi.
Steve
Steve
Resuscitation.
guy
But
from the league. That's all.
yes, great fucking show.
It is a great show.
Yeah, except when you realize that one of the main characters lied about being involved in 9/11. So,
yeah, it makes it way worse.
wicked fucking disrespectful to the people that actually died.
So
You know, there's probably midgets that died in 9/11, and we're just glossing over that fact.
He might have
little people might have died in 9/11.
No, a lot of people died during 9/11.
He might have just remembered it.
It wasn't there was nothing little about the amount of people that died in 9/11. Now, some of them may have been midgets, but
Sure, they were. Yeah, there had to have been a couple in there. You know.
But my question is, I didn't like when they released the number of deaths.
Yeah.
It had to have been like
X amount.
like it had to be like it had to be
three
like
midgets.
at least because like they're like 7,000 people died in 9/11. They're not going to say 7,000 people and 100 midgets.
Yeah.
They're going to say you would want them to say 100 people, but then that's not accurate either.
Right.
Because like they're not a whole person really. Like
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
like if it was children, it'd be like 7,000
75%.
people and 100 kids died.
So Pete Davidson,
Does he ever talk about that? How
He-
like the death count for 9/11 was to the 10th decimal because of all the midgets
he
that died?
does not talk about that. So only like the last 5 minutes was about 9/11 and his dad.
That's
and
about the same amount of time between the planes.
so and so one of the jokes, he goes, so my grandmother who hated my mom's mom who hated my dad's birthday, or her birthday is on 9/11. So I asked her, I was like, hey, Grandma, on the low, did you wish for something on your birthday in 2001? Like, that's what we were talking about. Someone wishing 9/11 happened or
That's
whatever.
hilarious.
Or making a wish.
What happens if that
you
was the
shouldn't make fun of
cause?
9/11, dude.
What if that was the cause, though? You know. What
Did
if that
she?
was-
What was her answer?
I don't know. That was just the punchline. And then he explained what SMD stands for. It's his dad's initials. And
Told you.
he was saying how he wants to get it like tatted on his neck or something, or just a tattoo of it, but he doesn't want people getting confused thinking it means suck my dick. He goes, but at the same time, he goes, I can only win in that scenario. Like if I got it like tatted on my neck and a woman comes up to me and is like, you're a fucking pig. And he's like, actually, it's my dad's initials. She would feel so bad. She'd probably suck my dick.
Yeah. Yeah, it can go either way.
I like that.
That is smart. We should get that tattooed on ours. The Clear Shots logo.
No.
Right where that Hulk Band-Aid is.
Yeah. Well, that's
Dude,
covering
say,
it up.
that's-
It's just really, it's a really small one.
Gotcha. Girls have to come over and squint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
They're like, what?
Why'd you get a
is that?
tattoo for
Why'd you get a midget tattoo?
Why'd
Yeah.
you get a tattoo of a midget on your neck? That's my dad.
Yeah. Our midget tattoos are smaller, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Because they have to be, right? They have to scale with your body size.
Jesus Christ.
That's the one thing you can change your gender, but you can't change whether or not you count. Like whether or not you matter, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to answer that.
The 3/5 count.
That's where I was going with that. I was like,
So,
that has changed,
That's
historically
the-
speaking.
The thing is that midgets only counted. They were 3/5 of 3/5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I see a fact check on this bitch?
Yeah, I got your fact check for you right here. It's called a calculator.
I thought you were going to go to like midgets.com or something, which also could be a website.
I think it's LPA, Little People of America.
Is there like an alliance? Like Little People's
There's like an organization. Actually, at one point, it was called Midgets of America or something along those lines. But then I think they changed it to Little People of America. Brad Williams talks a lot about it on different podcasts. Him on The Honeydew with Ryan Sickler, that's a good one. You should check out. Either that or Dr. Drew After Dark. I'm not sure which one. I get those two confused all the time because it's the same location.
Yeah.
But he talks about that and like how a bunch of little people would get together every year, and it was basically a giant fuck fest.
That's crazy. Dude, the founding fathers knew what they were doing with this shit. So 3/5 of 3/5 actually doesn't round up until you get to 36 out of 100. So there's a 3/5 compromise, and then there is the 36 out of 100th compromise.
Oh, wow.
That's where the midgets come in.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense now.
So it would take quite a bit of time to.
You remember that midget that was in the bagel shop or whatever? He was getting all pissed about like
Chris Morgan, the bagel boss guy.
Is that what people know his name now?
Yeah, I watched his YouTube
Didn't he
channel.
like get on
It's so
stage with
bad.
somebody? And
Dude, he after that whole thing happened, he was on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts' podcast, and it was so bad.
Oh, that one guy?
yeah, he was all pissy and like saying that
Women
mad
hate short men because he's like 4'11".
Yeah.
he was mad
Dude,
because he was short. Basically,
They let him like certain places when there was a lot of hype for him. Certain places let him perform, but he sold out the tickets, so we thought he was actually funny. But people just wanted to see him because of the meme,
Right.
And his life is fucked up.
That's
He
hilarious.
started a YouTube channel, and he got like 20,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers in like one day, and everybody's like, this guy's gonna be famous now. Great job, and then nothing happened.
Is
all
he
you
like?
gotta
Is he like legally a dwarf or a little person, or is it just short?
Well, I can tell you he's not a midget. I don't know if he's a dwarf or a little person.
Wait a minute, I don't know. What's the requirement for that?
It's like under a certain height, you're considered a dwarf, little person, or midget if you want to use that
It
word.
also
has
it's
to be a
also about
certain
your
age.
income. If you don't make a lot of money, everybody's gonna call you a midget.
Well, yeah, but it has
if
to be
if
at
you
a-
make a lot of money like Wee Man, people are gonna be like, well, that's
He's fine.
that's that guy.
Well,
they're gonna know his name.
Doesn't there have to be a certain age though? Like, because if you're fucking just short, you could also just be a child.
I think if you're an adult, if you're like 18 or over, or 21 and over,
18 plus, and you're under a certain fucking
and you're under a certain height.
Yeah, like a.
Because there's some women who are like 5'11", or they'll be like, or not 5'11", excuse me, 4'11", or if they're like 4'9", they'll be like, oh, I'm a legal dwarf or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same thing. But like, is the guy, that's the question I'm asking, how tall is this guy really?
Legal. Like, what are the benefits? You know, like what do you get for it?
I don't know. Like Kevin Hart, he's short, but he's not a dwarf. He's not a little person.
Right, he's like just above the
Chris
threshold.
Morgan is 5 feet even.
Okay.
But here's some of his stand up
That's
special.
about the perfect.
Oh, boy.
Thing.
This next act,
All right, so there he is.
That's definitely not him.
international viral sensation with over 26 million views on social media. He's appeared on the Howard Stern Show
Of course he
and the
has.
Jim Norton Show.
Who the hell is this guy?
Give yourselves strapped.
You can tell the validity of this by
Here he comes.
the environment.
Please give
that
a
they're in.
loud round of applause for Chris Morgan, Angry Bagel Guy!
Is he dressed up like Goldberg? What the fuck?
Yo, he's coming out hard, bro.
Not Goldberg. Gold Dust?
Yeah, Gold Dust.
Yeah, you meant what I knew.
Is he?
Now he's like Sting.
There you go.
What a fucking gimmicky fuck.
What the fuck?
Arrested and handcuffed. These two stupid bastards in blue with the shields. I think they're all that.
Motherfucker, move the mic stand.
It was an interesting
Yeah,
ride
right.
there. To the
Fucking
hospital. I was
literally-
in the precinct.
That's what every
And,
comedian
you gotta
It's
take it.
it's comedian.
That's 101.
Yeah.
Flying along that car from the marina to the hospital was hysterical. Because the whole time I did nothing but rip the shit out of those assholes. Okay? Because
All right, well,
they
they're
were
not
being
getting- I mean,
phonies. They
he's
thought
not
the whole
getting-
thing was hilarious.
The room's a
It
little
was
dead, you
joke.
know? He's not really
And
killing
I
it.
was just ripping the shit out of them. Well, why didn't you arrest this guy first? He hit me. They didn't have any answer. And I'm looking at him and I'm going, hey, you two, I'm making you two look like stupid fucking assholes. Ain't I? And I'm like,
Ha, ha, ha.
you're professional.
Dude, his
They look at
jokes,
each other
dude,
and
his
they're like, oh,
punchlines do not fucking come up strong, you know?
you guys want to have a successful
Oh, there it goes.
successful, any kind of success
Where everybody's like cheering because he moved the mic stand. That was like the main fucking part of the show.
I love. There's just the video he does to like announce his fucking channel is so bad.
September 9th. That's Adam Sandler's birthday. FYI, yeah.
That's great. I'm glad you said that.
You're welcome.
Fuck you. You don't ever talk to me like that, you fuck. Oh, hey, this is Chris Morgan, the real bagel boss man. Check out this motherfucking Facebook page. Bagel in your face.
What?
Bagel in your
hilarious.
face. But it's funny because he recorded the video for Facebook and then put it everywhere else. So everywhere else it still says Facebook.
This reminds me of like a shitty version of Beetlejuice from Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the Whack Pack? Do you watch Howard Stern?
I've only seen Beetlejuice clips.
No. Well, you got to mix in Gary the retard.
Mix in Gary the retard.
I have seen that in the battle. What was the Battle of the Nerds or Battle? Yeah.
You also got to mix in Bigfoot, High Pitch Mike, High Pitch Eric.
I haven't seen any of those
Eric
guys.
Eric the Midget, Eric the Actor.
I've only seen Beetlejuice and Gary. That's it.
Oh my god, dude,
that's the greatest.
I love the.
I can't believe Beetlejuice won that though. You know, like he came out on top. He
did.
Came strong too. Like he had a strong performance.
I'll send it to you because it's really really fucking good. But they do a bit with High Pitch Mike, and he's literally just a guy that works for Howard TV News that has a really high pitched voice. Have you seen this one?
Yeah.
Where they talk about how he goes to Disney. He fucking goes to Disney World alone.
Okay.
He won free tickets for Disneyland for a week for something he had. And he didn't have anybody to bring with him, so he went alone. And he's like 30 years old, and he went to Disneyland alone for a week. And they just start fucking grilling him.
They basically
about
roasted him about it.
It's so
like 20
fucking
minutes.
good. Artie Lang fucking shits himself laughing.
Oh
it's
my
so
gosh.
good. But Bigfoot is my favorite.
True.
I tell you, I shoved my fist in her cunt, it is, and he says it is after I'm just going to play part of it.
Go for
I'm
it.
just going to play the first minute.
No, you can't play it. Well, I bet we can play it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you just added this out.
It's not getting
Fuck
edited
you.
out.
You don't ever talk to me
You're
like
playing
that,
the bagel
you
guy
fuck.
again, you know?
Oh, hey, this is Chris Morgan, the real bagel boss man. Check out this motherfucking Facebook page. Bagel in your face.
There it is. Best of Artie and Bigfoot.
Oh, jeez. Have you seen Artie recently?
Yeah, he just got out of rehab.
Yeah.
Only one guy can win the $5,000 grand prize from goldenpalace.net. I'm going to turn my attention now to a gentleman named Bigfoot.
Yeah.
How are you, Bigfoot?
I'm fine.
Well, we certainly need a Bigfoot in the Whack Pack, I'll tell you that.
Why is he Bigfoot? He's not that tall.
I'm pretty tall. It is. I'm 6'4". It is. I weigh 280 pounds, and I walk through the Bounty House Motel flower bedded.
What size is your foot that you call yourself Bigfoot?
Size 14 triple E.
All right.
Why are we continuing the contest? You'll see why in a minute.
Mark, it says here you're a schizophrenic and you suffer from sleep apnea, which means what?
I've died 47 times in one night in my sleep.
You die in your sleep. I've heard of this.
Yes.
And there's no way to fix this?
No, it's no way to fix this.
So
the
how do
only way to fix this problem is you take air and blow it up to your nose. And the only problem with that, with me, it makes my nose burn. It does because of the air.
You don't play chess, do you?
No, I don't play chess at all.
What is it, 4-9?
Well, he said he knew something about prostitutes.
Yeah, what do you know about prostitutes?
What I know about prostitutes, I had one from Vegas, and she came up for 2 weeks, and I had the best time with her that you could ever imagine it is.
Now, what do you mean schizophrenic? You have multiple personality disorder?
Yes, I have multiple.
What does the matter, Artie?
They don't have video.
Artie, you're going to be one of the judges. What are you doing?
Oh, Jesus, I think I've already won that.
I want to go get drunk with this guy.
I have a room up at the Border Motel up in Derby, it is.
Yes.
He refused to clean my room, it is, because I I have coffee all over the place, cigarette ashes and everything. He's so scared of me, he even is so scared to come up and clean the room.
All right, let me understand.
Really? Do you hear voices?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Uh-huh.
Jesus fuck.
He's great because the way he talks, and he's just. They do have Howard TV of him, but they have him do ridiculous shit. They're just like, hey, nobody else wants to do this. Bigfoot, do you want to do this? And they actually have him record a porno with the fucking actual porn star.
No.
I feel like the funniest shit like on that show is like just hearing everybody dying in the background.
Yeah. Oh my god! Like the first one with Beetlejuice. Is it the first one with Beetlejuice? Well, the Battle of Wits, everybody dies fucking laughing.
Yeah.
Where it's just spelled red.
Spell
Lster. All right, Gary the retard. Spell red. Red. Bing.
He gets it right every time. Too.
It happens when you ask the same question.
He asks the same question like 4 times.
So how did Beetlejuice end up winning that?
Beetlejuice won by default.
Yeah, he pretty much wins. I mean, look at the guy, you know. Give him the W.
It's really sad because Beetlejuice isn't going to be on Stern ever again, apparently. He's really sick. Plus, the guy that he used to live with, Sean, the guy that used to like help take care of him and stuff, he died.
Really?
Yeah. I don't remember how I think he died of like some cancer or something.
Damn, that's
like really,
unfortunate.
really young, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
But it's really sad because Beetlejuice is fucking... Dude, he was in Scary Movie 2.
Yeah.
What?
And Bubble
yeah,
Boy.
That's right.
Yeah, and Bubble Boy. And then they wanted to... Somebody else wanted to put him in a movie and he turned them down, and it was the fucking funniest story ever, and it was 100% true. It was like James Cameron or somebody, some big-time director wanted Beetlejuice to be in their movie for like a bit part. And he said no, and it was like an actually true story. I don't remember who it was though. It was a big time director though.
Holy shit!
Yeah. I mean,
I can't imagine. Like, can you imagine Beetlejuice in like Avatar?
The kid can act his ass off, you know.
Or in Aliens.
He can fucking throw a punch too.
If Beetlejuice got a face hugger on him, what the fuck would that alien look like when it came out? Would it just have a wicked shrunken head and drool everywhere?
Jesus. I think it'd just be the same height as like regular human beings.
It would just be Beetlejuice. The fucking chest burster comes out, and it's just Beetlejuice.
I mean, that's basically his cameo in the movies that he's been in, right? Like just like a
Beetlejuice in the house. This is your brain on drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Scary Movie 2 is better than the first one.
Yeah, it's better than Scream, that's for sure.
Definitely better than all the other crappy ones that came out after that. 3, 4. I didn't mind 3 as much.
4 was dog shit.
4
Fuck
was...
you, though, by the way. Did you watch Stream yet?
Yeah, I watched Stream.
You finally watched it? How'd you feel about it?
It's okay. You know? It's alright.
Have you seen the movie Scream before?
No. Scream?
Scream.
Oh, no.
It's the one where the Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they parody it in the first Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Movie.
I
called it, too. I knew exactly who it was going to be the whole time.
No, you...
I did, too.
You didn't.
Okay.
No. That's the beauty of that movie.
Okay, except for I literally said... Ask Katie, she watched it with me. I was like, he's going to be the one that did it. Because they tried to make it look like he didn't do it. That's always the way it works.
I wonder, is there a slasher movie where it's so obviously one character and then it still ends up being that character?
Yeah, Scream.
Scary Movie 1.
Yeah, that's true. What's the one? Don't mess with the Zohan. You know what I mean?
Did you see Murder Mystery?
No, I didn't see that. Was that recent?
Yeah. It's the most recent Adam Sandler movie on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, dude. It's so funny. I remember looking at the stats of, like, all the shit that he puts on Netflix. Like, he puts shit out all the time on Netflix, and it gets so many views, like, immediately.
Yeah.
Like, he kills it every time. That's why they keep doing it.
Yeah, there was I remember reading a statistic that was like Adam Sandler's content is watched so much on Netflix that it is literally as if every single Netflix subscriber watched one of his movies once a day.
Yeah. Which is probably the case.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, Murder Mystery, it's a terrible movie. It's dog shit. There's some funny moments, but they do that kind of a thing where it was like, well, it's obviously not this person. And it's him. It's him, yeah. Or her, I'm not sure which one. But have you seen the whole Sandler-verse theory? It's on YouTube.
Mm-mm.
I would highly recommend it. This guy, this is, I don't know, maybe a few years back, so there's some catching up to do, but he connects all of the movies together in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, so it's like the theory that they're all in the same universe.
Yes, exactly.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe they are.
Maybe they are.
And he cracked the fucking case.
Like for example, in Billy Madison, that group of that family O'Doyle rules, they have a O'Doyle family that lives next door in the movie Click.
So it's them.
Possibly.
So that's two movies that connect. That doesn't mean anything.
That's just one example.
I'm sure.
I wonder if it's I wonder if it's a matter of like them being in the same universe or like just Easter eggs to other Adam Sandler movies.
Not everything has a point, Cam.
Or it does, you know.
Or it does.
You never know. You got 3/5 of a chance.
Did you know that all the Star Wars movies take place in the same universe?
No,
Really?
actually they don't. Because Solo is completely not canon. As far as I'm concerned. Because remember when they broke Chewie out and how easy it was? That shit never would happen. It's fake.
I didn't see Solo.
Oh, well, you don't know how uncanon it is then.
You know what movie I really liked as a kid? Did you ever watch...
Angels in the Outfield? Heavyweights? Field of Dreams?
Don't put Twinkies on your pizza.
Did you ever see the movie Mars Attacks?
No.
Nah. All right. This is Seth Classic Skinner signing off. Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never seen it though. Does Mars attack or is it Mars?
It doesn't matter.
All right, cool.
It's okay. It's fine.
All right, sick.
He's past it.
Just move past it. Move past it.
Just whatever.
Move to strike. So, what are we at here? Probably 3 hours. We started at 6:30.
Yeah, it's about a little after 9:30 now.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing a holiday sale on our merch.
Oh shit!
It's gonna start on the 1st, which is what's the 1st? 31st is wait. What the hell's today?
Today is the 28th. The 1st is next Friday.
This coming Friday.
So it'll start Friday, and it'll go through December 18th. So get your shit. It's gonna be everything's gonna be 20% off. Yeah, 20% off. Pretty sure. So, just get some stuff on our website. I don't know.
Is the deal still on? Do they get a picture with you?
They can get one if they want, yeah. Maybe they won't want it. I bet they probably won't. I mean, they can get a picture with us whenever they want, honestly. They can do it for free.
That's true.
And then it's 100% off. Yeah. The pictures are 100% off right now.
They've got a really long work stretch coming up. So I really won't. I don't know if I'll be. We might have to do a podcast this Friday because I don't think I'm going to be available next week at all. Before I go on vacation,
just mix one in.
Yeah, we'll do one Friday, and then oh shit, we have D&D Friday.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me. And I want to say thank you so much for helping me out getting my shit going on Cam Jam. I reached out to you guys trying to figure out how to get it started. And
I told him to fuck off and talk to you.
Yeah, pretty much.
I basically
and
did.
Then, so I first asked Jake. He was like, I know nothing. Fuck off. Go to Seth.
Basically.
So I talked to Seth, and Seth was like, yeah, you need this, that, and all this other shit.
He was like, yeah, Jake doesn't know anything.
Yeah, Jake doesn't know deck. Come to me. He was like, "Do you have this? Do you have that?" Just making sure I had all my tracks covered. Essentially, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I just like to see people doing it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, when Zamaya started his, we were like, yes, fucking yes. Like,
Yeah.
we want more people to do it because it's fun, and we like having we'd be able to, you know, bring each other on to different shows, promote each other.
Yeah.
This is all part of Seth's plan to get me out of here.
It's also like a world domination thing too. Like I was thinking, like
how many fucking podcasts are there?
Yeah,
we're the only ones I know of in Oswego.
Yeah,
right.
I think so.
At least I know we're probably one of the only ones that's this consistent with content in Oswego. I know quite a few people that do them, but they do them like once a month or every few months.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, people forget about it.
Yeah,
if you're doing it that long, so you gotta maybe. I like the idea of weekly, and even if you don't do it at the same time every week, which we try to put one out at the same time, it's usually on Wednesday.
Yeah,
and I think the consistency is what grabs people's attention because you keep seeing it pop
Plus,
up.
we have the benefit of we both know a lot of people. We both have had a lot of different people on, and we're on every platform.
Sure.
So
yeah, that's the biggest thing.
It's easier to get to us. Like I didn't tell the story about how I got kidnapped on air, but basically I was a little late today. I was walking here from home, and I got stopped by Josh, who we've had on the show, and my friend Sean and my other friend Cody. They were at the Sting, and they brought me in. They were like, "Where are you going? Come drink with us." I'm like, "Nah, I got to go to a podcast." So we were talking, and Sean's like, "Well, I want to listen to it. Where do I find you guys?" And I'm like, literally everywhere. He goes, "Are you on Spotify?" I go, "Yeah."
That's everywhere.
I go, "We're on everything." I go, so I sent him the link, and bing, bang, boom.
Bing, bang,
and then I had a Jaeger bomb and walked here. Fucking didn't hit me until I got to like 8th Street, and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
And then the rest is history.
I really haven't drank since like last Tuesday or Wednesday. So like one Jaeger bomb got me pretty fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially when you're walking and you're tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So was that tie-in. I had something else to talk about, but I don't remember what it was.
Must have been important then, right?
Not really. I wanted to talk about this past UFC event. I remember I was when I asked you earlier if you watched UFC.
Sorry about that.
You said you didn't watch it, so I breezed past it. But did you watch UFC Singapore? It was on at 8 in Saturday. So
no, I watched like the highlights. I was working.
I watched it live. I woke up at 7 in the fucking morning. Made a bunch of food, took a shower, took a dab, sat down and watched it, and it was fucking amazing. Askren got yoked the fuck out by Damian Maia, and apparently he might retire.
That was really interesting that he lost again.
He got handled. He was handled pretty easily.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Dude, I fucking love Damian Maia, dude.
Me too, dude.
He's so awesome. He's so much fun to watch.
He is. Like, and somebody was talking about, they're like, well, he's not even he's not one of the best fighters in the division, yada, yada, yada. And
it's like, just a jiu-jitsu. His jiu-jitsu are so fucking
His jiu-jitsu is the best in the world as far as cage fighting goes. But also, the only people he's lost to are people that have eventually won the belt.
Right, yeah.
Like in the past 4 years, he's only lost to
He doesn't lose to scrubs, you know?
No, he's lost to Tyron Woodley, Kamaru Usman, Kobe Covington.
What was the fight a couple of months ago where it was like the fastest knockout in UFC history?
That was George Masvidal and Ben Askren.
The guy got kneed in the fucking face. Mm-hmm. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I saw
we watched that live. That was fucking retarded.
Yeah, Penny was here.
You guys must have gone bananas.
Dude, it was insane. Because it was the Nunes fight I missed. Because Amanda Nunes fought Cyborg right before that, didn't she?
Yeah.
And obliterated her. Yeah. And then I missed that one because I was making a drink and I was talking to your dad. And then I went upstairs. And literally right when I walked in and sat down, the fight started. And it was just flying me immediately.
Yeah.
It was so good. That was, I mean, I remember the last knockout I saw that had us that excited was like either the first time Ronda lost, because we watched that at your place on Seneca, or when McGregor knocked out Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
That one was... We watched that at Wes's house, I think.
Aldo McGregor. No, I was at Derek's house for Aldo McGregor,
You were?
I think.
So I watched that at Wes's. I think the worst... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I didn't mean to go into a huge UFC tangent, but I've been really, really, really getting into it a lot. Like, I've been watching UFC instead of college football, which I never thought would happen. Mm-hmm. But, the fight where Silva broke his leg off of Chris Weidman. Were you at Wes's for that? Because we bought that pay-per-view. Uncle Wes bought that pay-per-view.
I don't remember.
And I
remember watching it, but I don't remember where.
It was...
There's too many fucking
so
fights.
bad. But I remember we literally divided the house up.
Nope, I can't.
We divided the house up between people rooting for Silva and people rooting for Weidman. And I was in the game room because I wanted Silva to lose.
I can do blood all day, but when I see bones bend and break in ways that they don't belong, I freak out.
Yeah.
It's that video, the fucking leg just wraps around the other guy's leg.
Oh, the worst part is when he plants his foot back down and realizes his leg is actually completely broken.
Yeah.
Like, his eyes get huge, and I'm like, oh, God.
It's held together by skin, and that's it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, that one is... I like it just because I remember where I was.
Yeah, and you also watch dogs kill each other and shit.
Yeah.
But that's fine. That happens every day.
Wow.
But leading, so the one knockout, the flying knee, I saw like some of the context beforehand, like them both talking shit, and the guy who I think ended up winning was on Joe Rogan's podcast not long before that, and he was like, I want to
break his face.
I want to break his face. I want to torture him.
Yeah.
I don't want to knock him out. Like, I want to torture him for however many minutes straight.
To hype myself up for the Diaz Masvidal fight, because Masvidal fights Nate Diaz this Saturday.
Oh, no shit.
And I watched the Joe Rogan Experience with George. Then I rewatched the fight, and then I watched the post-fight interview. And he says something wicked badass, and he's just like, I feel like he got off easy. He goes, I wanted to fuck him up for 14 minutes and 55 seconds before knocking him out.
Yeah.
But I guess I did it in the reverse order or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's great. Oh, and when he goes, if I see him in Whole Foods, I'm going to beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
He's like, I still hate that guy. He's like, I just broke his fucking face, and I still hate that guy. If I see him in Whole Foods, I'm going to smack him up. It's like, it's so good.
Did you see the one interview? It was this big black guy that just won.
Derek Lewis.
I think so. And it was like a really funny like post.
My balls was hot.
Yeah, my balls was hot.
Why'd you take your pants off? That's so funny, dude.
Him saying that literally got him a title fight.
Yeah.
Where he got absolutely demolished by Cormier.
Well, his balls was hot, you know. What are you gonna do?
True. But yeah, that's all I had left to say was I did want to talk about MMA for a little bit.
Right.
Nothing else has happened, like just the Askren fight. And then we talked about, Greg Hardy picking up the fight against Volkanovski on 18 days notice.
Yeah.
Greg Hardy is fighting like
I
a
get
top
it.
10
Sometimes
guy.
when you lose, like, you just want to, I don't know.
Yeah, I
in.
think he wants to. I think he's honestly really, really taking it seriously.
So what he thinks.
I don't know, but hopefully he's actually true to his word. Greg Hardy is a guy who used to play for the Cowboys and for the Panthers, and he got kicked out of the NFL for beating the shit out of his girlfriend.
So now he can beat the shit out of guys instead.
Yeah.
And then,
but this is the thing,
because that doesn't stop them from beating the shit out of their girlfriends and wives.
The thing is
porn
that
stars.
that's what he got kicked out for. But I'm not defending him. It's going to sound like I'm defending him a little bit. I don't think he ever actually got convicted of anything. It was just a lot of accusations, but then nothing ever really happened in court.
Allegedly.
People say that he bought her out. Other people say that the case didn't have enough.
People say that he fucked an ostrich.
People say he did fuck an ostrich.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. And people also say that he... Some people say he paid her off, and some people say that no courts found enough evidence to actually...
Yeah. It was a sick
I
ostrich.
think it was a bit of both.
Okay.
It was a sick ostrich.
But I don't know. I hope he sticks with it. I like watching him fight. I like to think that he's trying to turn himself around the best way he can.
I saw this one Do you guys watch This Week at the Comedy Cellar on Comedy Central? So they show a bunch of comedians in New York, and they talk about current events and stuff. And they were saying, this one guy, I think it was Steve Byrne, he was saying, talking about how they want to regulate the football helmets for NFL players, and they want to like change the size of them or whatever, make them like protect you better. And he goes, maybe they should focus more on the helmets of the wives and girlfriends of the NFL players.
Yeah, probably.
They should.
Although they probably don't wear helmets enough in general. They should probably just wear helmets all the time. You don't need to like make the helmets better. Just the wives need to wear helmets. That would solve all the problems. Then you can beat the shit out of them all you want. I'm not endorsing. Yeah, not endorsing that. I'm just saying.
I can't believe you said that.
So yeah, that's it. Check out Cam Jam. What's the date?
November 4th.
Right on.
November 4th, he's having renowned serial killer and throat fuck rapist Edmund Kemper on the show.
Yes.
You fucking piece of shit.
Debut episode.
Yep.
All right. That's it, guys. We will see you next week.
Oh, you know what? Before we go, Cam.
Yeah.
Did you have any, like, what's your biggest piece of advice for, like, an up-and-coming local musician?
Oh, let's see. I would probably
start a
podcast.
ClearShotsPodcast.com is where you'll find links to everything we do. You can check us out on Twitter at ClearShotsPod. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and check us out on Periscope for live videos. If you have anything you want to ask us, send us an email at clearshotspodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. We will see you next time.